Welcome to another episode of El Maestro Speaks podcast.
The equivalent of love is forgiveness. You cannot love without forgiveness.
You find any inspiration in this we have done, and you have done your noble part.
El Maestro Speaks podcast.
First and foremost, sir, Mayor, naruang kami ngayon, Mayor. I would like to thank you for the opportunity. It's a very big, I'm very grateful kasi yan, napaunlakan nyo kami for to be one of the guests of this podcast. Siguro yung unang question ko, sir, tatangay ka, how is life, the private life treating you now? Kumusta ang private life?
Well, as you are seeing it right now,
Yeah.
I'm just a mere law practitioner.
Mm-mm.
Sinublik di trabaho
Mm.
di awanak pa iti gobyerno.
Mm.
I was asked by my wife for me to completely retire. Ngem kunakmet saan. Umunang mami, I think I can still perform legal services
Yeah.
to our people.
Mm.
I have 5 lawyers
Oh.
under me. Malaksig di ay akadwak nga imun unapi man they are in the other office. They are still part of my team. But I can still share a lot of lessons to them. Not exactly maybe on the new provisions of the amended laws, but on experience in appearing in the different courts. So nga, may katalo nga rason, kunakmet nga, I have to use my brain. Otherwise, baka mabibiit nga Alzheimer ti tao.
Oo, tama.
So,
Law of
I have
business.
to use it.
Yes.
I have to use it. With the blessings of the Lord, hampay mo't nga niya nga forgetful, kapag tandaan tayo mo't. So nga, I think I can still render legal services. Dahil dagiti rason why I'm still cracking my head and still working as a mere private law practitioner.
One of the best, maybe. One of the best practitioners in Baguio. So, the number one reason why I came here is I would really like to know I want it to come from you. I want you to tell me the stories of your early life nung bata ka, yung mga trials, mga challenges na you went through when you were in the elementary to college. If you can share it to us.
Well, thank you very much, Clyde, for asking me that question and for this opportunity to
Yes.
be with you, especially that you are a public school
Yes, sir.
teacher. My saak, I am one who had entangled and undergone a lot of difficulties and problems. Amom, ulila kami nga nasapa. Agyan kami, we were living in a very remote sitio. Sitio Babasig, Patyakan, Anggaki, Ilocosur, which is now Quirino, Ilocosur.
Is that malapit ba sa boundary ng mountain?
Yes. Actually, we were, we are in the boundary line
I see.
between Bisao and Ilocosur.
Ilocosur.
Now, I was 2 years old.
Mm.
Idi pumusay da idi dungdungon mi nga ina.
Mm.
De kapsat ko tadudua kami. Was only 5 days old.
Wow.
So nga, death had deprived me of recognizing the looks of uh, our late mother.
Mm.
What I can remember only with her was when I was crying,
Oo.
she was holding my younger sister, trying to pacify me with a banana.
Mm.
And when she was already dead, lying at the center of that little house where we born, nga kayat ko nga mapan kiidak ni Isona because she is our mother,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I was being prevented by old people
Mm.
for she was already dead.
Oh.
Our father left us to look for a job
Mm.
to support us. Iso nga siya, I was left with my maternal grandfather, uncle and an aunt,
Mm.
the same sitio. My younger sister, well, there was no milk that you can buy
Yes.
during that time in our place. So what they have been doing, it's actually a practice of the community, the tribe, bringing that young baby to breastfeeding mother
Mm.
nga hangag paidam, willing to share her breast milk
May
with
pasuso
her.
sila dumami.
Wan, paspasuso da. Ngam, dimteng ti kanito nga, saanem kano nga mga agsuso. You know, may inala di uncle mi kan auntie mi, part of Besau, Tambuan, Besau, Mountain Province. In pagpagnada deta, or more or less, 24 hours,
Mm.
pagpagnada, in Danonda, ide Sagada Orphanage, where she stayed. Bendisyon, tinailangital nga ama. Because, idi idanonda kanu di jay, ni, agsilamot-mot iti danom nga ipatidtida, which she was not doing.
Mm.
And then, you know, what is so touching, the storyada, kanyak, no ipagpagnada, panamlan mo ada ka no sumursurot, but they cannot see anyone. Then, the difficulty of our life, timang bambantay ka ni iso na de antimi nga da jay Tambuan, which is far away from Sagada. Nyangay, karigat iti biyag, she has to go home. Awan piman mang banbantay, ngam ito no sumubli, kunang kanu di nurse, mangkit kita di ubing. Amoyo adanang sukat kun si ka nga, very loving to the child. Alaan na piman kat isalsala na. Kunan niya ang timi, awan there is none because we are coming from a far place. So nga awan ti nang sukat kanyak, and then she asked, what's the description of the woman that came here
Mm.
caring for the child? Ito no i-describe our late mother.
Oh.
So, very touching. Well, anyway,
So parang yung the spirit of
yeah,
your late
parang
mother,
ganun.
parang talagang hindi niya
In my case, I was left in our sitio under the care of my grandfather, an aunt, and an uncle. So nga, even when I was in the elementary, because our elementary school is located more or less 2.5 kilometers from our sitio, ijay nga to Patyakan. So nga,
Sakto niya.
we walk that every day.
rainy days,
Yes,
sunny
just to go to
days.
school. Adabalbala siwom nga basit mo kidi nga waig ngam no bagyo
Nagtutudoan.
awanen. You cannot even across the big water. So nga talaga ang rigat. And that explains the reason why I entered grade 1 when I was already 8 years and a half.
Supposed to be during your time is 7.
Yes. Supposed to be 7 years old. Mabalinan nga. Our teachers din at the time. Awan tinakaadal iti banda tayo ito. Mountain Province who can come to teach us iso nga agap-gapuday di Ilocosur. And usually, they will come late instead of the scheduled school year. Sumangput dakat baka pa ikot tapos ti July instead of June. Jay, manyangay. So, that was our elementary education din at the time. Fortunately, we were able to graduate. I can remember that we were 17 who graduated in 1961. 1961. It so happened that I was the valedictorian of the class
So,
in 1961. Now, just going back about my mother. As I said, I was deprived by death of even recognizing the looks of our mother. But it cannot be explained. When I was, think, grade 5, it was Saturday. I do not know why. I did not go and play with my playmates as we usually do. Instead, I decided after lunch to sleep in that little house where we were born, where she died. You know, as it was not a dream. When I was sleeping, my mother was there, wiping my perspiration, telling me, agsingsingput ka, anak. That's what she keeps on repeating at the same time, wiping my forehead. Mamati ka ti inayan. And then, she said, I will now go, anak. Then, she did not pass through that little door, but instead she passed through the window. As I said, as it was not a dream. So, and then, no, apay kidi nga idi, nagpakada. I immediately got up and then tried to grab her in our window and tell her, why are you leaving us, mama? Siguro, mauulawak pa lang. That was what happened to me, and then I cannot see her anymore. My eyes went directly to her grave because she was just buried
just beside the house.
near our house. Usto nga tatanawagan da jay tawami tinang ikalyan da pimang kanisuna. So, I got sick after that. Talagang ati panagladingit ko thinking of my mama. And I do not know why my late grandfather said, "Nadaka din na tagtagain po." So, I told him, yes, hindi Sabado, imay ninanang ko. Isot ng bigbiga, that was the only opportunity that I was able to recognize her looks,
See her
her
clearly.
face, and her look of our late mother. So nga, well, anyangay Adam, aday inaramid nati, ugali. Fortunately, I got well. That was my elementary life. So, walking 2 kilometers and a half, more or less, going to school every day.
Rain or shine.
Then, rain or shine, correct. Ay, awan pa'y payong idi, nagrigat ti kaputi, so nga,
Ay, walang
bulong
isa.
ti sabati, usually, usaran mi nga pang, just to cover your head when it is raining. Now, naawat, kasi tayo kunak, our father left us, naawat pi man mo't iti lipanto. When, you know, at that time, there was no high school in our municipality.
Yes, sir.
The nearest that you can take your secondary education is
Lepanto.
St. Mary,
Sagada.
St. James, Bisao.
Sao.
And then, Cervantes High School, managed by the Roman Catholic Church. So, I decided to follow my father,
Lepanto.
Lipanto. So, that was fun. And then, I enrolled in, of course, in Lipanto High School at that time.
Yes, sir.
It was not yet known as National High School.
During your time, sir, the gija estudyante ti Lepanto ket mixture eh. Pero usually anak ti minds, dagiti leaders ti minds. What's the feeling na ganun yung ano?
Yes. Majority of the students, maybe you can say 75 to 80% of the students were all children, sons and daughters of Lipanto workers. There are those coming from part of Sabangan, part of Bugyas, part of Mangkayan. I can remember ni Emilio Palalag, ni Mr. Liwanin, ni Benito Kitibis, ni Lucio Organo. They were coming from Ginawang Suyok. And then I have a lot of classmates from Mangkayan that Teodoro nga Bulii. Of course, ni Aida Singwi, nagaduda nga classmate ko nga taga Mangkayan Piman. Of course, the anak ni Mendoza, ni Donald nga Kamudag, ni Karyaga, ta idi Mangkayan da gitada. Amin, so nga, but those who were children of people not working in Lipanto, we have a lot of them coming from Bulalakaw, so di kwanti ko. Sources to students studying in the high school at the time. The Pidao ni Narciso nga Pasiteng. So nga katugawak piman ni Narciso nga Pasiteng. Idi nga I did not know piman adagayang piman mo't sakit ng kisiw. So nga jada kami ti first year kat ay sos taharo na piman di jay lapis na ting arithmetic puputam nagkisiw kat kastana rumrumarti gadu nga kotingi wat kastana dumanon mo iti baginan kat I was the nearest one. Tim aray dagiya kakadwami mabuteng dangam siya kakat tinengel ko da iman in order that he will not hurt himself. Ang ganar sumangput ti ambulansya nga. Timpan da piman di hospital, umat imin bagmat piman. I have a lot of close friends di jay nga who were not children of Lipanto workers. So nga, and then, siya kakit, I think, very noticeable, idi, because the entire population of the high school, I think, was the tao ti kanayon nga nakasurpan saka-saka. Niya nga ron, karigat ti biyang. Dito pa inusar ko nga notebook ti first year ko kat De inusar ko di patsakan nga na ibus di gaya pages na.
Oh,
Inik ko di gaya
sir.
nasurata ko, I continued using them. But you know, that saved me from suspension because
Mm.
again, gaputi karigatib sitwasyon ko. Pulo sanak nakaramraman deta soft drinks o no
During those times, yeah.
tinapay awan.
Oh, they
Tataada ti ka-classic nga manugal da.
Mm-mm.
So, kyan I should say, lucky
Yeah, lucky
nine.
nine.
Ay ayaban da siya ta. Piman no ni ibagbagada sumusurot to.
Uh-huh.
Yang ay pimpimanak. Siya ti kargadula. Itil notebook
Notebook.
da. Wa into no kwan mapang kami de kunada nga mapandapag sugalan lucky nine. Akat idisok amin nga notebook iday tutugawak agad adalak while they were gambling.
Oh,
Then, one occasion, tapi man, iso nga kaya may mayatak mo't because first time kong makaraman iti letat through
oh, yeah.
orange ken ada tinapay.
Uh-huh.
Tanu ada nangabak piman, mapang kami din ng store idi.
Oh,
Inayon da siyak piman, may gatangan.
please.
5 centavos mo, iditi.
Hindi.
Nagdakkel nga tinapay din ng store. I think 5 centavos
5
mo lang ang
centavos.
litro orange.
Uh-huh.
At that
At that
time,
time.
when, ano sa, now, da kami di likod ti barracks, agsusugal da. While I was studying,
Mm-mm.
sitting on their notebook, idikwan, naibati mo di may sanga notebook ko, di basbasa akit, di leksyon ko nga kwa. Dada ito Luis ngayodan nga security ti Lipanto. I salute that man,
Uh-huh.
that security man. Talagang i-monitor na nga na siya tagiti estudyante nga hangag klase nga mapan ag sugsugal. Resist mimut dayay makiding deta sugal. Di ko matkit kitaan awanin asidigayam kan tim maray da amin digi kakadlok ag sugsugal. Siyak mutin kita awan siyak muti aputunan tim marayak mut I left those notebooks of my companions including mine. So inala ni Luis Ngayudan, my classmates nga nakakabil del notebook da nga lipan to high school. Impana ka ni principal mi idi Kiriko Saturnino. While me, the notebook ko nga binatik Patsyakan Elementary School. So nga, hanang impan di high school, impan ako ni Mrs. Arellano, di elementary school, Pilipanto. Tatan, you know, that's why I said, that notebook saved me. Sinuspend ni Kiriko Saturnino de Kakadwak, siya, hanata, awang mo tinotebook ko dyan, nang ayab ni Mrs. Arellano. Why? Very motherly, piman ko no. I was not gambling with them, but I was just a carrier of all their things, their notebook. So I was there because bakit po no? Whoever will win, they will invite me. They will also buy soft drinks and a bread for me. That's all. Ma'am, unakam. I do not gamble. Mayat mo tibagbagana. Nagadong experience yak ijay. Lipanto at akas diyan nga ron ti kasasaad ko. And then, of course, ijay San Roque where our bunk house was.
Also, you experienced living in a bunk house?
Yes, we were living in a bunk house. 6 rooms there. Bunk house 21. When the committee, so nga diyan kami, I mean, I can remember nga, ni Mr. Kimutan, hindi mo di nga kwarto, ni Mr. Chumling, sumarunong nga kwarto, Mr. Anungos, sumarunong nga kwarto, and then Mr. Tangib, kan Mr. Tarkwan, and then sumarunong number 5, ni Minisis kan ni Noviloso, santo da kami nga pamilya.
Wow, your memory is very sharp, sir.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was known in the community. Why?
Mm-mm.
Because I was called as the Arasaw boy.
Oh,
After my classes, the high school, dakitan nga mga awit itibuti, kiring, gathering the
leftover.
Arasaw,
Yeah.
leftovers, in the different bang houses, in the cottages of the staff,
Is that?
cottage ni Mr. Libot,
Mm.
Mr. Vicente Ambukay, Mr. Salcido, the Raimundo nga Mananis.
Mhm.
So nga, kabisado siya, rain or shine. Ure aglup yas ti sara, arasaw itilikod ko. Ta, ada baboy media paalaban nga.
Mm.
So ti tartarak nun mi. So that was my part of my life in the high school. So nga, for 4 years that I've been doing it, they called me as the Arasaw boy of
San Roque.
San Roque. And then I discovered also that kasapulan dati abono ijay yan kakatigis ti Amerikano ijay of course labaan
And Jay,
when
I forgot the name of that.
ijay.
Yeah.
So nakita I've been going around there between San Roque kan pa ko. Aduti bakbaka dangay.
Uh,
Kita ko, this is the best nga
fertilizer.
abono. Iso nga, usually, sakbay nga agawid ak nga mapan ag-arasaw, kamakam kung mapan ijay, baliktadik nagi takin amin ti baka. Tapno mapagangok, tapno magango, Sabado, more afternoon of Saturday, or kwan, kumboy ko dijay, i-deliver ko ijay, yan tikat cottages ti Amerikano ijay pa. Nga to, 50 centavos per sack. I'm happy because I can deliver 6 sacks or afternoon lang. Kat dakal nga banag kanyak. Then, of course, na kitak de lipan to golf course ijay nayak. So, naawisak manen piman to bigay ikadiboy. That's why in 1961 to 1965, or in short, after before I left, before I graduated, I was also a cabdi boy during weekends. Data. So nga, and you know, also, one of the things that I cannot forget was how I meet Attorney Cesar Dulay, the former commissioner of the BIR. Because his father, Bartolome Dulay, was the boss of the mill department. He left us in Lipanto when he, I think, third year, when he enrolled here at the Boys High of Isilio. But he was coming home every weekend because anak mo't piman ti apo. I really salute him and appreciate him because despite the fact nga siya kadkadi buyak laeng, kakasi ti tsurak, friendly ti treatment na kanyak. He had been playing golf with his father. So nga siya ti kadida. You know, that alone nga panagkadkadwami, iso nga kunak, talaga nga dakkel nga pagyamanak because we did not forget each other, especially on his part. Kasi mo titsurak, ang ko nga pagarupan nga later on both of us will become lawyers. We still maintain our relationship. He was in Mindanao, usually Davao, tayo di practice. Agpa-practice akmet. Once in a while, mang contact. And siya ka, I, well, modesty aside,
Yeah.
di nag-commissioner nga, ti amok nga naga na reta, Billy, o nga mo di Caesar nga bunyag na. Remartin newspaper kat, Caesar Dulay of Baguio City is now the newly appointed commissioner of the BIR. Awan ti Caesar dito, basta ni Billy. So, I tried calling Billy in my phone. Isungag pa iso. Siyak na ito kabsat ko kung na isunga. I took the advantage of telling him, yung asim ta. Ito'y nakakagwa tayo. Ito'y nga maipapaigid dati promosyon.
Yeah.
Ta kita when pure siya adadet kapanunot. As I said, I mentioned a lot of the names of these people. And siya, very thankful, very happy at ta. True to his words. Halos impromote na ba't amin ida. Director pa, hindi may director rin may so nga, so napiman, amo na nga, na tao, tinang tulong ka. Adani Commissioner ijay USA, tinawagan ako ng, mapangkakan ni manong mga ibaga mga nagtungpalak ijay karikan ni Isona.
Yeah.
So nga, so nga nung umay dito, piman, he will always look for me. No, mapanday jay ta, country club, ulo jay, dyan hikat awan, kaya ba ni manong yung takadwat siya, kunana piman. So,
Playing
yeah.
golf. So playing golf, like you like playing golf ngayon, di ba?
Yes,
Yes.
because
It started in Lepanto,
it
maybe.
started in Lepanto at that time.
Yeah.
Unlike the Cadiz at present, because there are certain clubs that you can avail of, not during our time.
Oh, really?
Improvise mi ti pilyak tsaka ka tinatangkan nga kwa. Bayabas.
When?
We manufacture our own
Golf ball.
club.
Yeah,
The rules of golf, that is where I had learned. So nga, kasdedeta. Now, possibly, what you have heard also when I was in the high school was the junior seniors camp
Yeah. I wanted to tell that one.
1964, February 14.
Wow, araw ng mga po.
Mandatory that you have to attend the prom. Mandatory that you have to wear dark pants, dark shoes, barong Tagalog, or trobinize. Yeah. Now, siya ay sos, may sati pantalon ko nga pawad just below my knee. Awan mo ti barong Tagalog ko. Awan. Kahit nagbulod ako ijay. Haro ba mipiman nila kay minisis. Da barong Tagalog ng butyog, kultitsan na. So nga,
Loose.
o sarap, atidog ti payak na. Ay sus, dakal kanyak. And then, the only shoes, dark shoes that I can use was the only balding shoes of my father. So na, biinosar ko, iso nga, nukitaak ti tsurak. I am worse than a king kuy that you usually in the comics. Nakaalala, nakaalas ti tsurak. The junior seniors prom, the instruction is, the male will line up here, the female will line up there.
Yeah.
You march towards the stage, and whoever you will meet there, she will be your partner. Ikastam iti imam, ket isalabay na mo ti imam na, mapangkayo dyan. Idi, nagmarcha kami. Kita kaya ket. So happened that, then naibatog kanya classmate ko mo, Piman, the daughter of the boss of the powerhouse, Lepanto. I do not blame her.
Do you remember the name, sir?
I know the name.
Yeah,
I
can you
know
tell
the
it to me
name.
later, sir?
I know the name. Eh di kongkat. Dua nga po ko di mano na di barong Tagalog ko nga. Siguro maariyak ka na
Oo.
beben natin na. Ay apo yun. No. That was the time that I felt the feeling of a child, of a
Oh,
poor
yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Talagang ako. So nga, awanin. Miti katawan ti tao, dikit.
Mm.
That
The whole
aggravated
yeah.
also my embarrassment. So nga, dumanong kami di likudan. Tim marayat nga rimwar
Ah.
from the hall at awan. Ang kumatipulan ti. I can remember four of my classmates nga ni Dinya Campos who unfortunately died.
Oh,
Ni Jane nga Dawi
yeah.
also died. Also. Ni Ruby nga Gumiyak
Mm.
who also died. And then ni 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 Marina nga ununod
Mm.
sinurot na piman siya. Meka, sublita. You know, awan, I cannot anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Awanin. But anyway, after that, talagang imunod iti kapanunutak. Because if I look at myself, talaga mo't piman nga kalalaadak mo't awan pulos. So nga, what can I do to be recognized
Yeah.
in the class nga adagayam dumugan nga kaklase da.
Mm.
So nga, what came to my mind was agadal, uray recitation, uray quiz, examination. Basta abak ni DJ nga ng ikas.
Uh-uh.
Diyati
Oh.
may kanya.
So you made it as an
Is a
motivation.
challenge.
Yeah.
Which I did. Then, mayat mo't nagpaiso ti grading school. So nga, oreno kasi ti tsurak ay a lot of my classmates are my friends. Jay.
Yeah.
So, those are just part and parcel of my life.
Naughty question, sir. In your high school, your memory is so sharp. Maybe can you still remember your childhood sweetheart in high school? Naughty question.
Pulos anak nag-aaram iti high school. Because da iti kapanunutak. That's a good question. Da kapanunutak. As ano nga agaram ka? Pulos. You have no means of supporting your family.
Yeah.
If you will only rely like the life those I left in my sitio nga farming kan kwa awan progreso to so nga. And not only that, I continued up to the
college.
time I was in college. Yet when I was about to go for high school, data ugalin dagiti lalakay di lulong ko namang tartar kami. Well, the time education is not yet priority to them.
Yeah.
What is a priority is no da apuda makiasawa ko man takitaan da di jay great grandchildren da. That's already an honor to them. Iso nga mapan nakitulag iti kunanda nga asawa nga hangan met nga hangan napintas met piman ngam kunak niya ngay pagbambanag kuno maki asawa may paikat ni tatang na ijay balay idi nga talaga nga mang piho ngam kunak saan
Anya ti term yo joy sir. Tanda kami nga ijay ibang gat tumok.
Dato da iti term mi ijay yan mi akit at tulag makitulag dyan parental arrangement when ka iso nga kasjay mawan anak nga kwa so we graduated in Lipanto It was in 1965.
1965.
My first time to come to the city of Baguio, 1965.
Mm.
Ang kupay nabadbadakan pulos ti Baguio.
Mm.
That was my first time to pursue my college education. Of course, kami nagbirok ti kabailan nga pag-abangan.
Mm.
Nakita nga iyan digay adu nga nagapo yan mga marigrigat ijay Holy Ghost proper.
Mm.
Yung napuno day dingat nga to na nakita piman nga balay da lakay paulino na uy nga squatter along the creek
Oo.
nga awan ti siling na awan ti danom na ang kamaagsak do iti mga 400 meters iji yan ti 300 meters. So at least 5 pesos a month
Aha.
ti abang na. So
Pesos.
diay ti nag-abangak
Oo.
where I was renting. And then in my DFC lang iti karuba mi nga balay kat adamot na bakantiyan iti later on.
Hmm.
Also nag-transfer ak iti at least 7 pesos di abang pwede nga adasilaw nan. Okay, and then inyog damot di jay adamot pi man danuman nga dumanon ijay paraangan mi. So it makes me a little bit easier to live in the place. So nga ada inaramid ko nga shortcut from Holy Ghost proper because Baguio Tech tinag-enroll idi University of Baguio.
The course is
Di in-enroll ko first year ko engineering
engineering.
because not to brag. I think it's
You're good at math.
my favorite subject
Uh-huh.
since elementary up to high school in I think no one can beat me in math in the elementary or pa high school no math. Korekit kita lang kastakit asin na
Masurutan.
masumar kumut. Ada diay sa distang maestro mi nga Mr. Castillo nga tagabigan.
Mm.
Grade 2 kami paggidanan natin grade 3 kan grade 2 nga ipan ide blackboards and then agi-dictate iti aden nyo o multiplyan nyo. Whoever will get the first correct answer, lapigusem dagiti laplapayag ti kakadwa nga kanya iso nga adamot iso na jelikon nga tawa no laplapigusem iso nga when we go home adda dagiti agdadara ti lapayag na adda ti limteg ti lapayag na dayta ti kapuna nga nag-rebuild digay tada classmate ko ti grade 2 nga mga 13 years old.
Yeah.
14 years old. Karinga ti biyag igay.
Yeah.
Nag-rebuild da mapanda na nga ti bayatin amuyo de bayatin nga nagpintas nga sabong ng ay sinagid mo de ket nagatel nga sakit nga umun-unukod kudam umun-unag ang ganad dumara nga pa pinayatid dani iso iso nga nagpulong ka digay lalakay impulong mo ti istuli kastoy mo't gamin ti kastas taamunan digay classmates mi nga nang ikasta diya tadi da nga nagklase ti mulan diyay so nga well
You're really
a lot
good at
of
math. Yeah.
and then as I said dadak ditoy fortunately panigay kakadwak piman ka talong ka kwartuwak nalaing danga kwa ag gitara ag bandurya ag ukulele ag violin nalalaing di gitada paho string instrument dalaga nga kwa o solo guitar ket day ni Antonio nga bengtayen ket iso ti makikon contest dito ti solo guitar una na umay kata padasem ta di rondalyaban ket membro kami numala ka di bakal nga badan mo ta free tuition fee. You will be paying only 6 pesos and 50 centavos. Iso hindi na napanak piman tinisting na siya, hindi ko angkat. Okay, kunanamot na di Professor Ibarra was the so I became the member of the Rondalia band that I had taken care of that made me graduate also in Baguio City. We were the last graduate of Baguio City when Baguio City was still Baguio City. It was not yet University of Baguio.
Baguio City muna.
When it became a university after our graduation. Ang damit na aramid ko nga pag nakita from Holy Ghost
Oo.
to the market.
Yeah, yung shortcut.
Well, shortcut. Ada nama amok nga distant relatives ko. Nagilaklako ti Ripolyo. So, nakita, ano niya, ubak ti Ripolyo nga yung ibulbulang da. Pangasiw, tadi nalinis pa si nung nga ibulbulang. So, nga after my classes, nakalaan, isulti ko ano sama. Nagmula kami sa UT, di opposite ko, isot, ilalaw mo. Sadya, karigat ti biyag. So nga, that was how it was. And then during summer vacation, nagtrabaho ako. That's why, when I graduated 1969, Bachelor of Arts, I lacked education 16 and 17 to include BSA. BSA. That was the only time I came to my mind that I want to proceed to the College of Law. Ang pulos mo, awang mabalin mi. So nga, I was absent during my graduation 1969.
So it was already in your plan that after graduation.
Yes. Before graduation, kaya ko nga agadal ti abugasya. Absentak because I was then working underground. Was working underground. And as I said,
Underground, bakit Lepanto, sir?
Lepanto. So nga, I knew all the levels from 700 to 1130 at that time. Because I worked there.
You worked there.
Madamit, nagiti napipintas nga babae nga siguro. Sidakan niya. Medyo adamit. Ako na nga siguro. Kaya't da siya nga very friendly da kanya. Kaya't kung ariman nga awat. Tinuptupulaklaan. And you know also, what I cannot remove from my memory was what my mother told me in my dream. Kuna na nga, sing-singpot ka anak. Sing-singpot ka anak. Tay, once in a while, ada dagiti babak ng kaklase nga, ag-invite na nga ag-inom. Maki-inumak. Mukha, all of a sudden, rumwar da dyan. Wanid. Iremedyo tikas. Isos nga so what will become of me if this is what I am doing. Kunak. So, that was how it was. So, third graduation, bagak nga, I want to proceed to College of Law. That duwang uncle ko both on both sides, mayat-mayat, sige, tumulong kami. Ori no amok nga, awan piman mat pangalaanda because my late uncle on my mother's side, inla ko na ti dayawon dangan nuang yan mi nga. That was siguro the most costly at that time. The 500 pesos.
500 pesos.
Just itulong na kanya piman. So I was inspired. So I said, all right, I will look for a job so that I can possibly teach during the day and then take up law in the afternoon. So I enrolled the College of Law. Fortunately, again, naalak as scholar of the CNI, Commission on National Integration. It was a very good scholarship at the time because it will pay totally your tuition fee and miscellaneous. And the piman 40 pesos pa nga
Allowance.
itid nga monthly nga allowance. So, that, of course, helped me finish my Bachelor of Laws. I was, malis akon, agab-abang ak ide Upper Brookside, Baleda, Apoduklan, iti pagab-abangan mi. Kat, tinaraken ko dayta. I had an academic scholar when I was in the third year. Since I was being paid fully in my tuition fee by the CNI, intermot piman ti Baguio Colleges nga custody niya. So nga isupay nga nakatulong. So ti mistake ko di jay idi ni Donald nga buwangan, taga Mangkayan dahil taga Suyok, lumada dito ituding idi. He was the president of the CNI Scholars Benguet, Baguio, in La Union. Di kon kunada nga sukatanda, inpilit na kiti nga sika-sika bang sukat. Isoda diya, tinangdadali diya academic scholars ko ta. The problema na diya CNI scholars nga there were those who sometimes falsified their grade because if you fail 2 subjects, you will be out.
You'll be out of the scholarship.
Isot yun na ororlosan. Panayo na kay detan. Mapanak ijay opisina ti CNI Quezon City at the time. So nga, as jay. Anyway.
Parang even before you became a lawyer, but you're doing the job of a lawyer already.
Well, just doing in some way, partly yes, and then of course, I graduated. We graduated 1973.
73.
Now, my regret in becoming a member of the Rondal Yapan was where I got my insomnia. Because during dry season, starting November up to May, alos grabe nga tukar data. Ang kami maturog no pa. So nga, then kala, which was my very serious problem when I taking the review, Diliman, Quezon City, UP Diliman, Quezon City, because manak nakaturog. My resistance was din weak. So nga, mapanak decent looks. They inject the matpimang kanya. Kunak nga, I will not take the bar exam during that time. On the other hand, I sus, nagsasagad sa the amendments nilintig. So, if I will not take it this time, you have to go back and refresh yourself with the new amendment. So, I took the bar during the time. But in short, because, the history of our class, Baguio colleges at that time was, we were, I think, 54. The first year, fourth year, second year, 40 plus, third year, 30 plus. Fourth year kami, 27 kami. Out of 27, 14 of us were allowed to graduate. Out of 14, only 10 of us took the bar exam during that year. So, out of 10 who took the bar exam during that year, only 5 passed the bar. Unfortunately, that time, but I think we were only 2. I and Jane Guarino was a retiree from the Central Bank Committee ang bibiyag pala tatak. That's the history of our class. So, may release the resulta ti exam. Tulong ti Diyos, nakaruar tayo. Then, I got the invitation from Lipanto, then Philippine Iron Mines, for me to be employed by them as a new lawyer. No. I decided to paddle my own canoe in the private law practice. Problema, I have nothing. Or a typewriter, one. So, nakikakaasyak. kunan niya masigi. Na ginatang mi nga Olympia typewriter nga second hand. American Living. 400 pesos at the time.
Typewriter, yeah.
So, iso ako inalak. Magbiro ka pag pisinaak. Di, nakita na pisinan ni Professor ko, Atty. Fernando. Mabalin siguro din, nakipatangak na. Sige, ko na. May ka. So, nagarami na ibasit lang. Kastang opisina. Pulos nga, I had no experience at all in the private practice. Kamalita. Awat kadagay. Yung tikakailyan kaso da. And then, awan ti secretary di 1974 awan.
1974.
Siya type
Wow.
in my boarding house. Iti pleadings ko with that second hand typewriter. Very thankful kada because the board mates ko handang agriring
Yeah.
uray no. Ganak alas 12, alaon pa yung agta-type ijay.
For children who doesn't know, typewriter ko nangalawngaw. For those who are listening, yeah.
During that time.
Dagijahan nga nakaabot ti typewriter, nangalawngaw di ay.
So that was how it was. And then, about a year, the new graduate secretariat in the Baguio colleges who just died last December. Ni Judith Bilag. So, inalak iman. So, she started with me. Gana ag-retire because saan ko nga maikonsensya nga panawan ni iso na. Because I have been practicing since the time nga ureno kas jeti tsurak agab-abangak. And then, umad-adumot tinakin kayat nga makikadwakan yak. So, we separated from Atty. Fernando Tilo office staff. Hang kami nga maalay diyayin. Our law office, the only survivor of the fire during the time Magsaysay Avenue was totally razed by fire.
Yeah.
November of 1976. Only our office was left. When malisak ijay Harrison, the Stewart building, the entire second floor nagbalin kami mut nga kwan. I think we were about 12 idin nga lawyers followed me adon nakikadwakan. And then in malisak ita bangir. Awan di balay ko palag idi. And then again lesson learned even from our folks who are not educated.
Oh yes.
Kunada that I keep on telling my own children dagiti kakaanakan, di dalan ti panag progreso ti biag umuna nga maamin. Mamati kag buteng kati inayan in short ni Apo Diyos. May kadwa tarak ng salon mutang ka nga masaksakit. Oray ka sa planom no, you are sickly, it's so difficult to achieve it. Number 3, you are not lazy. Sakong ka nga sa even how poor you are, at least if you are able and healthy, there is still a means to look for a job for you to survive. Number 4, ito lisyam ti dakos nga bisyo. There's no other thing that destroys the happiness, progress, and even future of any individual. No saan nga iti the evils of man. In short, our bad vices. And then, if you can do the 4, I'm sure the last one is whatever little earnings that you realize, it will be utilized for what you need. If you can do that, the old men or of our tribe says, we can beat with you. As the years will pass, there is always a little by little that you will realize you are climbing the ladder of improvement in success. Analyze it. It's very correct.
Yeah,
It's
tama.
very
Yeah,
correct.
exactly.
Siya, tadi yang ron. Di ko, nag-stepmother ha.
Oh,
Nag-stepmother kami. So nga, Adam, upat nga half-brother and sisters
oo,
mi.
oo.
Kat, data, ngam good na promote basit ni ama iditi trabaho na diya ko ang cause I do not blame my stepmother. Di concern na ako, di mismo nga
Yeah,
anak na
yeah, yeah.
medyo,
It's part of being human.
yeah.
Yeah.
Agted-ted ti luwak, idi ko na nga. Isardeng yung ag-eskwela ta.
Oh, that's
Apay, kasano dito adiyo ko na. I do not blame her.
Mm.
Ko na, ala, it's okay with me. Lalaki at pangasyo dito ading ko.
Mm,
Tulungan nyo.
mm,
So nga, di ko. Then, anyway, naggraduara ki ibimot na diyan. Pas diyan nagbanagak.
oh,
Ni ading ko, nagbulbulod kami iti panag-eskwela na as a nurse ijay dagupan piman
mm,
iyo pang tatak. That's where she graduated.
oh,
So, ngam idi ko nang pan idi abroad so nga sikti ng baybayan idi inututang minga
mm. Inusar na.
inusar na. Anyway, datati agkakabsat.
Yeah,
Then, with that, uh, of course, lesson nga kanayon nga ibagbagan ti apo tayo. So nga, my earnings in my little practice, of course, oreno, as jeti inarami daddy stepmother me.
Mm.
I help
Your
all
brothers.
my half brothers and
Siblings.
sisters.
Yeah.
All of them had passed through me when they
Wow.
came to study college. So nga, especially the eldest one because correct man alas sige, pangalat ti College of Dentistry,
Uh-huh.
ijay UERM Manila.
Mhm.
Talagang isot papapanan amin ti basit nga makikita. Kat good idi adda basit naurnong ko kun anto by car is absolute necessity ta.
Yeah.
Di mapangko pagbistaan. So in short, I was able to buy my first car in 78 at that time
78.
for 12,000 pesos
12,000.
installment.
What car is that?
Second hand nga IH dagay iti. Then, and then 1980, the next year, nairanang ilaklako na di for my house now, house
Yeah.
in lot. They were selling that. Di kwan, kunan pi man ko katsangam, awan, for 40,000 ti kwart kamut, nga 200,000 data. Kadamot pi man di, yap bugadwak nga, agsuswerte iti high grading.
Oh.
Sige, pabulunang ka ti 50. No, 90 takas mo. Di nakitungtungak di ahinti, tada porsyento da nga 5%, 10,000 di ay.
Oh.
I will pay you in installment. Tapno, agparang ti binayadak 50%.
50%, yeah.
Nayatmat pi man di nakinbalay. So, that was how it was. Binayadak di ay. 100,000 down payment.
That was year
That was year 81, the
81.
giant.
Wow.
But I thank the Lord because nga nagbayag di balance without me asking my clients to pay their obligation to me. Gigit dandangay may agbaybayan. The late Mrs. asawan ni Congresswoman Hura.
Yeah.
Gregoria Hura. Pilmur Lauyan, a lot of them na amok makasampulam ti kwart sa pulam na ta. So I was able to pay my balance. So solve my problem. Ngam ti umuna nga ginatang ko. Idi man aside from my car, the second hand nga car. Yung mga tangak ti rice field.
Rice field.
So that
Rice field at where?
ijay iyanmi. So that ijay namitpit. Yan, at least danonan ti kalsada. I will not be buying my rice in the market. So then adamot balay kong. So it was somewhat not good gayam. Gumatbatang kati house in lot. Noan mga kati tsuran ti balay ta is more expensive to totally renovate the house than constructing a new one. Because I renovated kang ko kaya titsura na traminting sinukatak. I have to demolish it. Santo patak dirin man 1982. Nagasgastos gayam. Well, thank the Lord nalpas ko. That was how it was. So, that was my lifetime idi ko. Practitioner at litoy. Because with my bringing nga nakarigrig, I was so attached to the working man. So nga, nagbalinak nga, abogado Tilipanto Employees Union 1974. And then, all the organized labor unions in the city of Baguio, Pines, Doctors Hospital, County Club, Hyatt, of course, Baliho Hotel, Pines Hotel, Bank of Philippine Islands, Piltel, and then Seed Educational Supply. I was the lawyer of all this organized labor union.
How did you go to politics, sir?
You know, after mga 14 years in practice. The first election after EDSA Revolution 1. Excuse me. Ustumet na mayate kunana ni Congressman Honorato Aquino at that time. Who was our congressman? Seeing that, okay, we form our group that all the tribes of living in Baguio, the big ones, by all means should be represented. So that we bagana. So tayong Highlanders, what I accepted was,
We are still Region 1 nung time na, sir.
yes, I will chair the selection committee to select who will be our candidate for councilor. And we selected the late Galuigan. So pinili mo tangas. Nag-mock election day hayat idi. Rimuara ka nga number 5. So ako na, ni Domogan. No. The decision of the group, our tribe is ni Galuigan. So, pinekatinagan ko kung ano nga kabkabil siya. I do not know. Apay nga kasi tinupasamak ta. Few days before the deadline of filing, Uncle Galuigan changed his mind to run as councilor and instead decided to run for mayor. Di kwenta na there were 8 or 9 candidates for mayor. There's no Highlander, so he's thinking that if the Highlanders will vote solidly for him, he will come out.
I see. Yeah.
Napandagiti lalakay. No way you will win. Dagiti leaders ni Igorot have word of honor. They are already committed to a lot of candidates. Even they will secretly vote for you. But they cannot shout for you because of their word of honor. They are committed already. Namot denggan. Di sana nga denggan. Daitan. That will answer your question. Kunadan. Awanin sa balin sikan. The pen pointed to me. That was how I started. Because that was done 1987.
87. Yes.
The election was the following, I think, February 3,
Mm-mm.
1988.
Yeah.
Then, after the election, I came out. I was only number 8.
Mm.
Among the 12 councilors, I was only number 8. That was how it was. So I brought with me Judith because, again,
Yeah.
I cannot in conscience left
Left
her
her.
without any job. I brought her with me in City Hall.
And then you ran for vice mayor.
Yes.
Yes. You
After
were
4 years, 4 years as
Oo.
councilor, chairman of the Committee on Laws. Awanen, kunak, subliyak man ng ti private practice.
Mm.
Nakita ko ni, nagrigat, politika. Umay da apo bergara, dan ibada idi da, ni tabura, da, ang pangasin, agkakadwa tayot. Ni bergara ti for mayor, tabura bergara for congressman, tabura for mayor, sikat ti vice mayor. Ni Ilmo, ti kabilyo nga vice mayor, campaign manager rakta, kahit kung subli nga private practitioner. Eventually, it did not happen that way because tirigat na. Sinming itigay, of course, politicians si Dengato, pagtataray idi 1992 ni Ramos, ni Jose Doy Laurel, ni Danding Kuhuangko, ni Miriam Santiago, aduda nga katataray nga presidente. Now, nagsisinamot da Doy Laurel, sa balimot ni Danding, ikapatmot ni Apo Vergara ni Danding. Okay, because of the La Union Block, pinresure da ni Vergara nga anti-kadwam nga mayor ni Bungong Ortiga instead of Tabura. So, awanin, ti Vice Mayor na ni Attorney Ginny Lim. Siyati ko nada. So, umay mat dagidada ilmo da Parinyas da Tabura. Awan ti haanan umay kanta. Tarayak nga mayor po na ni Tabura, sikat ti Vice Mayor. Councilor de Ilmo, kastoy, binilang da. Niya nga ron. Diyan napasubwak manandita. But well,
You were vice mayor for 15 minutes daw, according to
no, not at all.
akala ko.
Because yes, what happened was, Labo was disqualified before election day. He was disqualified before election day by the COMELEC. But he appealed to the Supreme Court. His appeal was still pending. During the proclamation of, we were already proclaimed as winners.
Yeah.
And even during the oath-taking, June 30 of 1992, that was 9 o'clock in the morning. That was our oath-taking convention center. So, there was no decision yet of the Supreme Court. So, what happened was, after I took my oath as Vice Mayor, 9 o'clock in the morning, after 15 minutes, because our function starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I was asked to take my oath as mayor. Died as acting mayor. So, that was what happened. So, I did not function at all, even a second as a vice mayor. I immediately functioned as a mayor. And then, October of that same year, 1988, the decision of the Supreme Court came out, finally disqualifying Labo. So, I was asked again to take my oath as regular mayor. So, we scheduled that it will be President Ramos because President Ramos was the one who won the presidential election. Nga, idintomat during the convention of December 1987. the delegates of Benguet ken Baguio. O papat kanila nga ng butos ko ni Ramos, layos da nga ni Ramon Mitra ti binutusan da. Because the old man Mitra was the congressman of
Yes.
Baguio Benguet for a long period of time also. Kasi may sang ni Mitra nga na limaban idi. So that was how it was. So
You were the mayor during the earthquake.
I was not. It was Mang Jimmy
Mang Jimmy.
Buknosen.
Oh, yeah.
Because the earthquake occurred July 16, 1990. But the height of the rehabilitation of Baguio
yeah.
was during my time.
How did you go
During
through
my
that?
time. Well, you
It's
know,
a very difficult task.
it's a very difficult job. Siya, hantay nga, I was so weak with that media, social media.
We were totally disconnected during that time.
Yeah,
Baguio was
totally
isolated,
disconnection
yeah.
from the outside world. So nga, billions ti may dito nga kwarta for its rehabilitation. Kasi ko na, awan, sakit. Antay mo't nga agporporsinto iti pang kontrata, pa project. And you know, what happened with President Ramos, iso ti kapat mi, manen. Iso nga, when he had his rally here in Baguio, we strategize how we can catch the attention of people. I saw for the first time, inawit mi ni Ramos, pinagdermiti abagamingin, rada i-decision ron. So, ijay at least, catch the attention ti tao. When the deadline for the filing of local candidates was nearing, ay nakibiyang dagiti stalwart leaders ti lakas.
Which is usually the part of the game.
Yes, dinisplaced da kami.
Yeah.
Awan maramida ni Apo Ramos. I found out that, okay, the Divinisha, the Leticia Sahani, the Lumawi, iti the Delete Dominguez. Nagita the leaders, together with their political leaders in the Lakas Party in Manila, devoted nga ti bagan ni Dominguez idikat nilbugnosan ti official party candidate ni Vice Mayor na ni Daddy Delay Judge sa Nili nga Mariro nga kadwak nga kaunsilor na kami naglalaban ti Vice Mayor at that time. Ni Mariro, ni Balhadya, ni Mandapat, ni Dr. Aguilar, ni Silva. Do kami nga nagsasango ididiyay. Anyway, at least diyan nga kastamit ko ni Ramos. Idi umay ni Ramos. First time for him to come to the city of Baguio. During my kuma o taking, nga in-screenan da, pinaigidak, i-report, ko na you ride with me. Ano ko, nabainanak pa kiti, kung nandad, pa nakapalikmot ka na isang politician, never mind their name. So awan. Anyway, tatindi ibagbaga. Nagadu titakwan nila mga demonstrate no if you will administer the oath of Domogan. Kung kunadang, talagang military man ni Apo Ramos. So nga, the person who administered my oath was the late Justice Salvador Valdez. In mind ni Ramos, during di ko, awan mo ti demonstration. Napurbarnan nga kwan. So, of course, na kami mo ti kadkadwana idi. Uray no kasya tinaaramid ka na kami. He cannot forget it. That's why he helped us a lot. He was a key to the rehabilitation of Baguio. Unfortunately, there was 10 billion appropriated by Congress for the rehabilitation of the Mount Pinatubo
during the
earthquake and the Mount Pinatubo eruption, the 1990 earthquake here. Unfortunately, what had been given here was not utilized well. isubli idado mga pondo. Iso nga, when I came in, that was already the height, the
Yeah, the height
rehabilitation
of
of Baguio.
rehabilitation.
And as I said, we have to give credit to Apo Ramos, and then also we patched up whatever political party differences and aligned with each other as elected officials ni Manong Berninga, Bernardo Vergara.
Yeah.
So he was our congressman at the time. I was the mayor. So pundong inyog na Baguio, La Trinidad Rehabilitation, Imrujas concreting up to to Sentro Ita, Baguio, Session Road, Luacan Road, and then Baguio Bawang. De tamawan nga kasto. Yeah. Isopiman, instrumental ni the rehabilitation of the Marcos Highway, 1.6 billion.
Wow.
Eta. Iso nga, it so happened that President Ramos is an avid golfer. Nakita na nga, amok gayam nga gayam. Tigo,
Yeah.
apresyado na. So, manipod idi. Ayan, alas 11 in the evening, I will be going there. Private trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Of course, ibagak ka ni Manong Bernie. Di damo nga, after nga muna nga may. Muna nga doon sa agne presidential plane, golf bag. Lumuar niya po President Ramos, naka-uniformin ti golf attire rin. Why are you not ready? No, I'm ready. Anyway.
Natatalo niyo naman, sir.
What is good?
Yeah.
Hana nga kayat ti ay ang kaagpapaabak ni isuna.
So it's talagang
It's not like that.
it's a
You
really
play
good
your game,
competition.
I'll play
I'll
my
play
game.
Yeah.
Ikam laang ti stroke. Di pa. So nga, and then naalak ti kayat na. Hana nga kayat daytay. No, agkita kayo. Ay envelope dayta ka folder nga request for projects.
Yeah.
Kapag panangkit-kita yung kanya, kwarta amin nga bakrang ko. Nanakang ka, pagungtan. Nakita tinangong tanati. Because usually, if he will come, he will stay in mansion house. There is a schedule for all the local elected officials of Northern Luzon with him. Mamin, bit-bit dati ko, inungtong tana idang siya ka. And then, my advantage, of course, is tunukuan ko na, ay sige, 7 o'clock, 7:30 tea time, yes sir. Daki di eh. Ang mga, kung nga, gibagbagat ti project, in tono, nagayayam kayo, sumulang ako na, ay Maurice, kanya problema yung I can be of help. Diyan nga sa kaya, sir, nagado, mabayinak lang kung si Kang manyangay. Salamat unay te sinalunson mo. So I can memorize what number, what hole nga. Baguio Bawang. 560 million. Luacan concreting. Hole number 9, hole number 2. Amin.
So per hole, parang nandun yung request.
No, agsalsalod.
No, agsalsalod.
Ituloy ko. Iso nga, as Jai, he helped him. He helped us a lot.
Yeah.
The people of Baguio, the city of Baguio, had been helped a lot by President Ramos. And I'm happy because, look, already si Marsaruno, ni Irap. Irap, I was not with Irap. I was because I think I was the regional chairman of Lakas din at the time. The kandidato ti Lakas ni Joe de Venecia. I had been siya anang kong kayat data aga-ala ti ure amo ko na pigsan ni Irap idingam. Todo line for my so di nag pausak nga kumpanya ka ni Divinisya. Ngam, awan,
Yeah.
talaga ngayon ng paso ni Irap.
It's a numbers game.
Popular unay ni Irap.
Yeah.
Without me knowing, mayat kaya mutikwanan ni Irap kanya.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was one time nga sinmangat ni Apo Ramos, that was December 26. Always December ita. December. Agawin ni Isuna iti January 1. Ay, nga January 1. January 2. Agaw pumanaw. December 13, holiday. Nagayayam kami ko. Iso nga isot ng alak de. Pundo, concreting tiluakan ide hall number 9. Panakaisubli de fire truck ide Luacan Airport. Tikwan ko nini. Ay, Mores. Intono bigat, January 1, agtrabaho tayo yes sir. Umay kayo dyan mansion. Dyan tayo nga agkapi. Then after that, we will work. Na bisitaan, ocular inspection. Taan namin. The circumferential road. Trinidad nga agpakastay de Tamawan. Kastay de Irisan. Yes sir. Ikwan, amon mo ti public works idi nga. Ag-ocular inspection. They have been cleaning all the way the road from in front of Mansion House, Season Road, Nagilian Road. Kunada nga isot pagnan mi. President Ramos is a workaholic president.
Yeah.
I went there, nasapsapak. Santo sumarono ni Apo Vergara. 5 o'clock in the morning, halos he finished reading all the newspapers.
Wow.
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Then, if there are those concerns brought out in the newspapers, before 5:30, he dispatched already his order to the concerned department secretary. Address this one. So nga, kalpasan na diyan. Alpas. Let us have coffee. Kami. Then, when we started there, all right, you ride with me. We use my car. Yes, sir. So, siyak da diyay sango. Dadangaduwa diyay likod. Mapang kami diyay Leonard Wood niya. Imbis nga mapang kami Season Road, nga isuti na i-distributan ti Presidential Security Guard. Nang nagitada. Apay, if somebody wants to assassinate me, then they know where I am going. Maybe they know where they will hide themselves and shoot me. Let us not pass that way. We pass. Imruhas. Yay. Nakita. Ataray, the security. Presidential security guard. Saan yung presidente? Asan yung presidente? Madano kami dyan. Trinidad. Di manong kami dyan kung hanapiman ba. Ay, hindi agpakadak ni Mayora because this is her territory. So, napang kami de balay da Mayora. Siyakon. No. Isuna na pa. Kinatun. Then, bumaba de maid. Ay, ni Mayora.
Wow.
She did not recognize that.
The president.
The president was the one
Knocking in front of the door.
The door. Who was standing in front of the door. She said,
Oh my God.
Sir, maturog pa. Painyo det. Ngayon, babae mo't nga ron. Punana. So, okay. Ang kami diyay town. The bonfire ng inusar dati pilit. Siya ti pabasura na. What is this, Mores? Nakanyak. Ay, sir, pasensya ka. New Year's Eve di rabi. So nga nag-bonfire lang. Nagagit taga Trinidad kung kunak ba ta. At mga 8 o'clock, 8:30 na. All of those will be clean already. Wow. Sige. Okay. So mga kami tamawan. Kinita mi di kalkalsada di tan. Then, Nagilian Junction. When they're waiting, said Ijay, all right, let us stop here. Let us do what we have done today. Ano, come, you are my secretary. So, yes, sir. All right. Problems of public works and highways. The ceiling of amount that they are authorized to bid. At the time, only 30 million.
30 million.
Oh, the district,
Mm.
ano ako na, i-increase tayo to 50. Sige, okay. Alright. Concreting ti, ada kurang na, di pinagnante concreting ti Baguio La Trinidad. How much? Nakita mo sir, numano, sige, let us add 20. List ng amin. And then, madamdam ako, sumangput ni Mayor Tabandapi man. Ay sir, imuna, ito yung nato. I was waiting for you there. Ito kayo gayam. Katawa ni Ramos na. Tapinukot ko na mamatulog. Manapiman mo nyo. Inunsorto. Anyway, okay. Bagyo Asin. Siguro we need mga more or less 40 o sige. I mean, 20. We initially we make 20 and then the funding follows later. And then, we have to construct a bypass road from Takay to Tamawan to meet the circumferential road. Do it in a bibingka formula. Gapuno awanti governor ti.
That's the bibingka for.
Bibingka nga. Ada kontribusyon mo, ada kontribusyon ko.
Okay.
Awan mo't official ti governor's office ko na. Congressman din, awan. Okay? Then, how much will Benguet contribute? I mean, sir, sige, we'll guarantee. 1 million will be contributed by the province of Benguet.
Yeah.
We will do the job coordinating with them. How about you, Mayor Tabanda? 250,000, sir. How about you, Baguio? We can contribute 2 million. All right, the rest will be me. So, nakaaramida na Takay to Tamawan. Inailipas mo tita. Asin. Okay, pundran mo't aminin. Then, merinda tayong angaro din. Dali ng tanga kamuti. Piman. Parwar ni Bergara di ay kiso di bulan ng bukal wet. Pandisal kat. Kulang kat ni Ramos. Ay bayan ni Retam. Intin ni Emil Daday. Dati kamuti. This is the best.
Yeah.
Okay. Kata pinirma na di ay sursurat wa. Okay? So, after, merinda kami. Alright, let's go to si Marcos Highway Rehabilitation. Ta 1.6 billion di ay.
Wow.
Pang kami. The consultant di ay, Scottish. Bagan mo ti consult. How is our schedule here? Are we behind? Consult. We are 30% ahead of the schedule. Good. Where are we? Pakita na dyan mapa. In short, nalpas kami muna dyan. Next. Of course, what is next? Golf. Okay. So, dyan. Nga, isot nang. Ninayuna naman hindi pundo dyan. Ada kami dyan golf course. So nga dyan. Then, when Irap won 1998, nga amo na nga, I know. He knows that I was campaigning for It was, so nga, Irap is also a sincere person. What he says, he will do. What was wrong with him was,
Like what you said a while ago. Like what we said a while ago. The vices of.
The tao surrounding him took advantage of his
I see. I thought it's the
weaknesses.
vice.
Excuse me.
It's okay lang.
Anyway, Good Friday. Magwak na ubing ko nga, nangal daw ije ko South Drive.
Mm.
All pisading ko. Nag-ring ta cellphone ko.
Oo.
Halika dito. Mag-usap tayo kahit 10 minutes. Ako na bosisar nga ni Presidente.
Mm.
Di ko angkat. Hangko sinong batan. Di bawag man nun, after 10 minutes. Sinabi ko na nga eh. Halika dito, mag-usap tayo kahit 10 minutes. Nabosis ako nga ni Hirap. Yes sir, Mr. President. I'll be there. Pangko di anak ko di country club. Kaya kayo to. Mapanak dyan. Anak to, may alam na kayo. Napanak. Di Guardiana. By coincidence, Ninong Dakti Kasar was my poster son in PMA ni anak ni manugang ni General Abanilla. Ano General Abanilla, very close ko ni Irap. Iso nga inalan na niya, son-in-law na nga. So, close security aid na. Walang pinapasok si Presidente, ikaw lang. Malapaikat nagmano ka niya, kinuyogan na siya. Mapano? Limlimada Irap. Ni Laarni, hamong nga ni legal wife ng Aloy. Ricardo na, ni Laarni. Ni GB Hirsoto. Ni Di Chavez. Ni Isona. Kain ka. Tapos na sir, hindi pwede kain ka. Kanto style eh. Tuboy style. Di ko, sige, magkain ako ng prutas. Ang kami matapos. Halika dito. Alam nyo, mahiya tayo dito sa Baguio. Malakas si tabako, wala pa tayong binigay. Pag-usap tayo, pang kami, dudua kami, di salas. Di balay na di South Drive. Nung kailangan mo na makatulong ako, kunana, diretso. Sir, may tinakam ko. Muna. Yung swimming pool namin sa athletic ball, sinimulan namin kay President Ramos. Tinatapos gano'n, magkano kaya? Timbagan mo kami ni City Engineer. Say, 20 million, may atiyay. Simbaga, 20 million. Okay. Tinawagan na ni Budget Secretary. Aday jay Cebu, Good Friday. Ay, Ben, sa Lunes, mag-release ka ng 20 million dito sa Baguio, ha? Alam mo, malakas si tabako dito tayo. Wala tayong binigay pa. Wala na. Then, marunong mo na. Ano pa? Wala na. Nalagip ko. Because the owner of that building where our law office is ni Lakay Anton yung Espiritu. Anak na ni Edgardo Espiritu, nga Secretary Department of Finance ni Iraq. Sir, meron kaming usapan kay Secretary Espiritu. May utang ng national government kaya sa amin, Baguio, na, okay, 800 million lang yung nilagay namin. Pinirmahan namin yan eh. At, yan, 300 million first year release. Itong first year, and then 150 million every year hanggang mag-in yung term mo. Awan, doon nga inawagan naman na ni Jok, no? Hey, magdagdagan mo yung 20 million ng 300 million sa Lonisa. Alam mo naman, malakas si tabako dito, wala tayong binigay. Hindi ka na yung may magana. So, in short, nagsina kami, salamat unay. Tapos dyan hirap. True to his word, about a month, si Mang at to inaugurate the Benguet General Hospital. He was the one who inaugurated that. Inaugurated that. Hindi ko angkot. Kinat na tiribon. Nagsaw ijayo na. Amin nga politician sa Northern Luzon. Darang tata, simpre. Ang dani presidente. Muda. After talking ko nun, ay, Mayor Domogan, alika dito. Ito ang commitment ko, Kay-envelope ko kastoy. Ang commitment ko. 20 M yan. Thank you, Mr. President. Unang dekatin. Paisikal. Amo pa yung ada gamin. Anyway, so that was compliant. And then, after a month, there was big event in Janhing. He was invited, I think.
Ah.
Di Phil-am sa dayay. Phil-am dayay. O may ag-seremonyal.
Mm.
Nag-seremonyal. Alam mo, Maurice, di ako makapaglaro kasi wala na itong tuhod ko. Wala na. I cannot. Anyway, pang kami di baran clubhouse, banda, inaiban na nagsao. Kaya, ano amin tino, din Luzon, politicians, isakbay nga malpas mo ng bagsaw. Ay, Domogan, halika dito. Ito 285 million yung nandyan. Kasi, I think he was briefed by Public Works. Meron kang problema sa road right of way dyan sa Tamawan. Ayusin mo muna yan bago ko i-release yung balance na 15 million. Yeah, 285 million. Oh, yeah. Then, in short, naipasurot mo 15 million. That was what I got from IRAP also. That helped the self-conferential road, Happy Hollow, and Panidyay. Balakbak, may Sabat, ita Marcos Highway. Of course, in tuloy pa man ni GMA. Because, again, GMA is with our party. So, natuloy dahil. Tuloy na matpiman.
Yung next sana na ano yung next sana na question ko. But then, I think if you have some, kasi the legacies of leadership. Ano yung mga legacy? Kasi, pero, ayun na nakwento nyo na yung legacy ng the rehabilitation, nandun na lahat. Pero, in your personal view, ano yung parang legacy na naiwan nyo sa city of Baguio?
Well, of course, I hope the people of Baguio will be the one to answer that. But just to mention some, okay, aside from the rehabilitation of Baguio, when I was given the chance to be the mayor,
Longest serving
I founded the Clean and Green program, the city government. One of my, of course, priorities at the time was management of environment, the clean and green, especially the garbage disposal system. The clean and green program of the city government covers the air quality, of course, the cleanliness, garbage disposal system, and then regreening of Baguio. That was how it was.
I think we won before.
Yes. So as I said, and we founded that it was August of 1992 when I was given by my good friend, the late Pilino Lagman, Engineer Pilino Lagman, I think 25,000 pesos when I explained this to him. All right, you start. So I started. And with an aim, that was in the 1993, an aim, na-incorporate me as alay sa kalinisan. The aim mi data, we returned the image of Baguio as clean and green city. There was no national contest among local governments in the Philippines existing at the time. But in 2004, and we were seeing, we accomplished initially the job in mga 3 years. But 1994, kung nakidi, 1994, Dante contest Clean and Green program of the national government among all the local government. Then, magpuputam. I did not know. This is attributed to the teamwork, cooperation of the people of Baguio supporting us or the officials of the city government. Of course, so nga siya agawid kita, halos alas 9 tirabi, magmag na the different parts of the city without any security. Yetiko. Now, first nga ako, i-announce that nangabak dita, Baguio City. So, the cleanest and greenest highly urbanized city in entire Philippines.
Yeah.
We beat Davao, we beat Olongapo, we beat Bacolod, in a lot of the highly urbanized cities of the Philippines. Now, ang dati 1 million cash prize nga kakuyog na. Then, the following year, manin, nak nga, baka, sige, maintain na rin tayo. Cut the story short. During the awarding, we won it for the second time, successive years. So that was our second award as cleanest and greenest highly urbanized city in the Philippines. 1996, give up because let us do our best, but I know we cannot beat Olongapo because Olongapo, by coincidence, was the site of the G7 conference, G7 representing the presidents and prime ministers of the big countries of the world, the United States, Russia, Great Britain, Germany, damin ita mapandikot. The national government had released 2 billion to Olongapo to use in clean and make it presentable to the G7 leaders. So kung nakawanan, give up tayo dita. But you know, sometimes I cannot forget this because during the awarding, it was in Lunit. The entire entourage of Olongapo City, the Dick Gordon spouses were there. I was there, few of us, and I was in my complete native costumes. I usually do. In all the awardings.
I remember I saw you in national TV wearing that. I was grade 5 yata.
So
Every time.
So I was following it. Then all of a sudden they will state who is number 4. Bacolod City.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Number 3, bayag-bayag naman ko. Davao City. And then,
I did nasa second.
awan, na Olongapo, ti kwarto yan, mga bak. Ti, urayat, ti number 2. Baguio City ko na awanan, goodbye. Obsado ka. Olongapo City, number, sinungay nga road number 1, ano ko. Naalam mo, then, the champion successively for the 3rd time that we will elevate in the Hall of Fame award. The city of Baguio. Timakder ni Kate Gordon. Binisito. Congratulations. Amo ka nga. Anyway. So, inikandak muna the plaque as winner of that year. 1 million pesos. And then, they plaque as
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Famer 2 million pesos.
Wow.
Cheque. So, 3 million tinayawit ko di jay. And then, that was the cleanest and greenest program of the city government. And then, sumarono, magdadiyay Gawad Pamana ng Lahi Award, known as the Heritage Award, which is the highest award that the national government can bestow to a performing local government unit. It followed, 1996 matlaang, another month laang. Di concrete. Inayaban na kami nga, I was not told us to be a winner. Di na pang kami. This was in Malacanang. Mapang kami ka. Baguio City. 2 million tikas award ng Adagos. I was again in my complete native attire. Then, the following year, I did not expect. For the second time, Baguio City again was the champion. In the Gawad Pamana ng Lahi Award, you are only limited to 2. The moment you garner number 2, you will be awarded as a Hall of Famer. So, the city of Baguio had been awarded as Hall of Famer also in the Kawad Pamana ng Lahi Award. And then, of course, 1995, 1995, we founded. Let us give credit to the late Attorney Damaso Bangkawin. He was the brain of the Baguio Flower Festival.
Yeah.
But
1995.
1995, that one. He called me. He was the vice president of Johnny Management Corporation and Puro Point Development Corporation. He called me. I want a festival on an activity to be, it is Monday, BCDA to fund it. For the people of Baguio and the surrounding areas to remember BCDA. So we brainstormed, we were only 2 and said, how about like the Pasadena Rose Parade? Yeah, I think. So that was, so we agreed.
Pasadena, California.
California. We agreed. Then we called it Baguio Flower
Festival.
So that was how it was founded. Then we called our spouses, and then the other group, we meet, everybody agreed. So we started it. To the credit of BCDA, the first flower festival, it was known yet the time as Baguio Flower Festival, was funded principally by BCDA. I appropriated fund from the city, but the bigger funding came from BCDA. Of course, the manpower and support came from the city government. And then, unfortunately, after that, in Sardeng, the BCDA, Sardeng. So, again, I have to remedy because nagpintas dito Flower Festival. Indugi ko nagbirok ti funding na kunak ni kwa. Kunya po congressman ang kastoy. At tinulong tayo. Di pinunduan mi iti from the 20% development fund of the city. Mga lakad yay. 4 million pilyem nga. Then pinunduan mi iti 4 million. Isot pangipundom de maalam from the city government. So that when we will receive the notice of release from DBM, we will realign what we had appropriated for that. And then we appropriate it for the flower festival. So that was how the 4 million funding coming from the city government had been started, which actually, if that did not happen, no more flower festival. That's what sustained the flower festival. Of course, Mac Prondap founded the Panagbanga March, and then kunana ni Bangawin. Kanya nga iti dialect tayo that can fit flower festival. Manong dami. The distant relative ko reta. Manong dami. Can you think of an Ibaloy word that can fit? If there may be one, it's not only one. So sorry if I am going to suggest our own dialect. And what is it? Panagbunga. Season of flowering, season of blooming. Yes, that is the one. So that was how the Panagbunga
That's the story of
earned its name. Unfortunate because anak na mahilig kita media. Kung nadapin man nga ni ay pikpikan na taga-Bugyas ka no, tinang isuplay. Ano pa na iso ako ng ay? Inunor pa iti city for supplying din. Alayong detang amumuti kinipuno rin. Alnanan ni ay.
There are people in Canada listening to this, sir. If this will be uploaded, may mga so people will know it from the other countries.
Yeah. And then of course, what other that we leave the city except again from infrastructure, name it.
Yeah.
We modernized the health center.
Yes.
We constructed the uh, local civil registrar building, the rehabilitation of the biggest canal from Athletic Ball to Rabbit Singhol. Ni Apo Senator Plavir, tinang tulong piman kada tayo iti modernization of the Baguio General Hospital.
Oh yeah.
Dagitada. I mean, iso nga ada di Plavir building.
Yeah.
About a billion ng kabil ni Kwadijay because again of our partnership. And then, when John Hay was to be beaten out, I have to admit, I was the one who crafted, with the help of the members of the city council, the 19 conditionalities for the development of John Hay. That, of course, it was done through a resolution. There was no agreement that we signed with BCDA. But after we had passed that resolution, 262, that's the number of the resolution, series of 1995, we had given it to BCDA, and BCDA passed also its resolution approving in toto the 19 conditionalities. In short, it is the same as an agreement between the two parties. That's why I feel so sad that we have city officials who are not honoring the 19 conditionalities. Yet, I can say this, the 19 conditionalities have been, well, maybe 80% implemented by BCDA. First, condition number one, the issuance of building permit, while BCDA can do it at its own, had been waived to the building officials of the city government. Part of condition number one, the city shall get 25% of the lease rental or 30% of the net profit, whichever is higher as its share from the development of John Hay. Condition number one. Which is part also of it. The lessee or developer will only put up vertical structures on a total area of 7 hectares in order to ensure management of the environment and so that the development will be environmentally friendly. And it was followed by BCD. It was followed.
Yeah.
That's why the master plan of John Hay followed that condition. Okay? Then, of course, we have been collecting our share from John Hay. The first collection I can recall was 104 million. That I distributed 500,000 per barangay in the city of Baguio. Except the bigger sum that we use in concreting the South Drive Road, part of going to Happy Hollow, and then the school in Camp 7, a lot of them had come from our share from John Hay. And then, look, it was my worry that Baguio City is a tourist destination and a convention center of the North.
Yeah.
Two of its industries, education and tourism. Now, of course, it's the business center of the Cordilleras.
Yeah.
But we do not have a convention center.
Yeah.
That's why we exerted effort together with Manong Bernie Vergara to negotiate with GSIs for the city to buy the convention center, including 1 hectare area where it is constructed, which we were able to do using the share that we got from John Hay. The city should have not paid a single centavo other than its share from John Hay Development. If only it had gone well, but unfortunately, it did not so. The city had come up some amounts. But anyway, it is now absolutely owned by the city government for our children, our children's children to call their own. That's the development of the convention center. Of course, I work hard for the renovation of the convention center. And I want to say that it was under Secretary Cabral of the Department of Public Works and Highways that we have to give credit because in my piman nag-courtesy call kanya, she asked me a simple question, what can I do to help the city of Baguio? Hindi maalis sa isip ko yung convention center na dapat ma-renovate. So sabi ko, Ryan, si Ryan, bigay mo nga yung sulat ko diyan na I have sent 3 letters but no response. So, ito, 3 bisis na pinadala ko but no response. Okay. I'm not promising anything but I'll do something about this one. True. They released about 40 million for the concreting of the road. In the Philippine Science High School from Nagilian Road. And then, as I said, the 200 million fund for the renovation of the convention center. That was how the convention center was renovated. We can go on and on of what I can say that we left for the city of Baguio. But we submit to the people of Baguio to see and remember those. This is the disadvantage one who is not so always media concerned. Other people will do their job with a media person
With a camera.
accompanying them with camera. But when we renovated also the city camp lagoon, that was a perennial problem of the city government every time on time. It's being flooded. Many times I entered from the inset city camp lagoon going inside. And from Crystal Cave going also inside. There's a big lake at the center of that one because unfortunately undisciplined constituents disposed their garbage indiscriminately that of course hoover a lot of those natural holes underground so nagbalin nga banaw. So nga di ay remedyo tayo.
Where do you think thrive more as a leader? Do you thrive more as an executive official of the city or as a legislator?
Well, you know, the work is executive city official. Good also to be in Congress because we have been there for 9 years. Problema lang sa Kongreso, matuto kang magbula. Yun may, sorry to say.
It's reality. It's the reality of the game.
That's the reality. So, sa akin, ay trabaho lang. Yan tayo. That's why, during the impeachment of Apo Gloria, and we have to thank Gloria, the rehabilitation of the Halsima Highway, billions yan si President Arroyo ang nagbigay dyan. She continued a lot of the fundings also of our projects in the city of Baguio. That's creditable to GMA. And then, impeachment. They selected the 5 best debaters of those pro-impeachment. Mamili kayo. Then, they selected also the 5 debaters of the anti-impeachment. Then, sabi ni Speaker, we'll give you 4 hours, 2 hours each of the team, right, to debate on the issues. And then after that, magbutuhan na tayo so that there will be an end of these proceedings. Otherwise, somebody can dilly-dally it that will prolong the disposal of this impeachment case. So I was surprised that I was one of those selected
Yeah, I heard you in the radio.
anti-impeachment. Our team were then composed of Simeon Dato Manong of Maguindanao, okay, si Art Defensor of Iloilo, and then, of course, si uh, uh, Luis Villapuerte of Bicol with Lagman, and then si Manong Salaknib Baterinas of the First District of Ilocosur, in myself. Dito ko na I think na inis si Apo Noynoy sa akin kasi I was din preparing my homework because nakita ko yung pairing. It so happen na yung katunggali ko sa kabila. The number one top notcher, Ronnie Zamora, who is my friend of San Juan. So talagang nagpe-prepare ako. Ay, itong si Noynoy Aquino. Kasama na si the late Bersamin. Kukwentuhan ng kalikalpuhan. So, pinagalitan ko. Disturbo. Punta kayo naman dyan. Mayroon akong ginagawa. Nagpiprepare na tayo eh. Tumawa naman. Sabi niya, ay nagalit si Manong Maurice. Halika dito, diyan kami. I was wrong. I thought that was okay. See, nung lumabas na presidente, talagang galit na galit sa akin. Even on the stage, inauguration ng lighting sa Burnham Park, nasa kami si stage. Ito si Manong Maurice, palagi akong tinitira.
So,
di naman.
yeah, the opinion is true that, well, I heard it from many. Medyo, yun, sensitive siya. Yeah, the former president was a little bit sensitive sometimes kung may tumitira sa kanya. Yung mga ganun. Nagtatanim ng galit, parang ganun.
Ay, si Noynoy,
Yeah.
si GMA, hindi ko makalimutan kay GMA. Of course, it started from tobacco. I do not like to mention those promoted as justices of the Court of Appeals, kay tobacco, na talagang pinuntahan ko personal. Tobacco. In my own handwriting, in fairness, kinuha ni tobacco. Now, CGMA, one thing I can say, well, they are qualified people. They ask me, kasi dapat, base naman sa miris, wala sana yung mga ganun na recommendation, but that is not the reality under our system of government.
Yes, yeah.
So, madami. But none of my recommendees had not been appointed by GMA. Lahat, she accommodated them. And they are qualified people. That's why my former law office had produced 5 judges. Aside from that, there are those that from other places na, well, I do not know kung bakit nagpatulong sa akin. So, but, well,
They know you can help.
meron kang magawa, bakit pa? Hindi gawin.
You were one of the people who is fostering the autonomy of Cordillera.
Of course.
Yeah.
I have to admit that I am an advocate.
Yeah.
Talagang avid advocate of the autonomy of the Cordilleras.
What is the reason why it's very difficult to attain that?
Well, first, the understanding of the people of the Cordilleras. Yun yung talagang mahirap. That's why it takes time to explain. Second, the cohesiveness and determination of lawmakers of the Cordilleras to sponsor it in Congress. Tutukan nila.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, during my time, while I admit I am an avid supporter of
Mm-mm.
autonomy of the Cordilleras, mababa pa ang understanding ng
Understanding.
people of the Cordilleras. Kasi yung survey at that time, talagang wala. You know, okay, to a little bit give background on this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Of course, so that we will also understand
Mm.
why only the Cordilleras in Muslim Mindanao under section 15 of Article 10 of the 1987 Constitution had been placed to be given the opportunity to become
Mm-mm.
autonomous region. Let us start from that so that those who can understand I hope you will remember it.
Yeah.
Bakit? Kaya, ganun. Yes, number one, kasi these two regions limited by the national government had been neglected from
Since time immemorial.
development and attention in the long period of years.
Yeah.
Cordillera, Mountain Province. There was only one province here at that
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
represented by only, of course, if it is one representative, funding equivalent to one.
Yeah.
So talagang we were neglected.
Mm.
And similar naman yung ating customs and tradition.
Yes.
So, that's the number one reason why when Korea, and this is something that we have to thank Apo Cory, because when she constituted the members of the Constitutional Commission to frame the 1987 Constitution, it was inserted there.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I said, Article 10, Section 15, giving the opportunities in the Cordilleras in Muslim Mindanao to become autonomous. Now, as I said, nung nasimulan yan, the first was, of course, done by the Cordillera Regional Assembly.
Mm.
There were many of them were appointed by President Cory. Unfortunately, the draft that had been done by the Cordillera Regional Assembly had been halos 75 or even 80% changed by Congress when it went to Congress. There are a lot of provisions there that even me, I do not agree. But not Congress to, So lesson learned, dapat magsimula dito ang crafting of the autonomy law. So that from the grassroots, alam nila what are the provisions. And this is the reason why. When the first autonomy law was passed by Congress, signed by the President, when it was submitted to ask for ratification in 1990, only the province of Apayao ratified it. All the local government units of the Cordilleras rejected it. And then, here comes 1997. I was then appointed as the co-chairman to draft the autonomy law of the Cordilleras. My companion din at that time was regional director of local government, Iverdina Doctor. So we crafted it. We tried to come up what we think is the best for us. And ito ang aking teorya, that must be followed in order to guarantee that if we become autonomous, it should be better than our present situation. Walang dahilan kung bakit ikaw ay magkaklamo ka ng autonomy kung wala palang maliwanag na ibibigay na
Yes.
benepisyo and advantages. So that's the so I came out with the 5 elements na dapat
Yeah.
masundan. Unang-una, to form the autonomous government of the Cordilleras that have a legal identity that will, of course, preserve our culture and tradition worth preserving. Because that's our identity. To manage our own affairs and resources more than what we are doing at present.
Yeah.
And to do it, we have to devolve a lot of the functions being done by the national government to be exercised by the region.
Regional.
We know more our backyard than the national
Exactly.
government.
Yeah.
So that is part of condition number 1. And then, of course, to ensure that we will get higher share from the revenues of the national government than what we are getting
right now.
when we are not an autonomous
region.
region. So that's it. So condition element number 2, there will be no diminution of existing powers and benefits that we are exercising under existing laws, particularly Republic Act 7160, known as the Local Government Code. No diminution,
That
and there
means-
must only be an addition.
Addition.
So-
That
so-
means walang tatagal sa position,
Oo, na.
madadagdagan lang.
Yes, madadagdagan lang. That's why part of it is I do not like the abolishment of the regional line agencies.
Yeah.
I do not like the abolition of the land agencies. Kapartner naman natin sila
Yes.
in the development of the Cordilleras.
Yeah.
Not only that, ang laki kaya ang funding pumupunta sa kanila. Which should continue to be given kung hindi sila na-abolish.
Yeah.
And then, okay, sa funding, walang diminution of existing benefits. To give an example, ano ba ang talagang pinakamalaking benepisyo share natin under the present local government code from the national government? Yung internal revenue allotment. To give an example, 2017 that I was still the regional chairman of the Regional Development Council.
Yeah.
At the same time, the Peace Regional Order Council. Okay? You know, Benguet, I'll tell you, Benguet has had an era at that time na 900 plus million pesos. Ngunit, ang budget of Benguet 2017,
Yeah.
alam mo kung magkano? Kulang na 2.2 billion. What does this mean? It means that Benguet had collected from local sources only less than 200 million pesos.
Yeah.
So, patay yung Benguet kung wala yung internal revenue allotment.
Exactly.
Worse, Payaw.
Oh.
Halos lahat, in Kalinga, Abra, ganun. On the read tayo sa local source of revenues.
Yes.
Payaw, pinaka-worse. Kasi 2017, yung internal revenue allotment ng Apayao, 800 million. Magkano yung budget ng Apayao? 802. Meaning to say, 2 million lang yung nakulikta nila from the local sources. That's it. Only Baguio City that can possibly stand without
by its
the
own.
internal revenue allotment because time. Okay. Our internal revenue allotment was only 670 million more or less. But we have a budget of about 2 billion. Actually, 2.1 plus billion. It means to say that we collected about 1.5 billion from the local sources.
Sources.
That's it. So, under condition number 2, hindi maaalis yan.
Yeah.
Even if we will become autonomous, the national government shall continue to
Provide.
give it to us.
Yes.
Oh, right. All right. Sinabi ko, I did not propose the abolishment of the regional line agencies. All right. The lowest budget of regional line agencies or the region is CAR in 2017. But umabot kaya ng more or less 29 billion ng budget ng line agencies.
Yeah.
So, gusto sabihin, itutuloy yung national government to give that budget to the line agencies. Na dito lang sa Cordillera magagamit.
Yes.
Okay. A matter of coordination lang yung gawin ng autonomous government with the line agencies. Because under my proposal, the line agencies will only be partially devolved to the region. Yung ma-devolve lang sa region, the power of supervision being exercised by the cabinet secretary shall be exercised by the regional
government.
governor. So, hindi na pupunta yung regional directors sa department secretaries,
cabinet,
ano lang, kondisyon. At yung budget ng regional line agencies, the personnel services, MOOA, and capital outlay will be separate from the budget of the autonomous government.
Okay.
Para nga, talagang addition. Walang removal. And
there will be the improvement in the
yes,
Yeah.
I said this because studying the failure of the autonomous government of Muslim Mindanao, nakita ko dyan sila lumagpak sa unang autonomy law nila.
Yeah.
Kasi inabolish nila yung line agencies, nawala yung budget ng line agencies. Yung nangyayari lang, nag-a-appropriate ng Congress every year for the budget of the Autonomous Region of Mindanao. Na hindi naman kinonsider yung budget ng line agencies na dapat diyan na tayo magsimula sa budget ng Autonomous Region and give them the authority to create their own Department of Public Works, Education. So, kulang na ang pera, kaawawa nila. And that's the that's the defect also of devolution under the local government code. Kasi yung national government, kinalculate nila na yung internal revenue allotment natin sufficient to deliver the services of what we are doing. Example, the Baguio Benguet General Hospital. That is to the province of Benguet. Yung ira lang ng Benguet, kulang na i-ano mo dyan. That's why halos namatay yung Benguet General Hospital. So, diyan yung ano ko. So, hindi maalis yan. Of course, employment. Kung alisin mo siya, where are these people? A lot of them from the Cordilleras are employed there. That's within the coverage of no diminution of existing powers and benefits. Number 3, no dismissal or transfer of career civil service employees unless for just cause and after due process. No diminution, no dismissal. Parang may safety naman yung ng line agencies. Then, number 4. Number 4. Over and above these benefits, ano ang idadagdag natin? Number letter A, yung share natin sa total revenue collection of the city government. This is over and above the internal revenue
Mm-mm.
allotment that we are getting. So we specified there. I think there were 10 taxes na nilagay natin yung dapat meron tayong share na ganito, ganyan. At sa total during that time will be 17 billion every year. Added to our era, added to what the budget of the line agencies will be. Okay. And then, yung koleksyon ng LTO in BI, those abing koleksyon, 80% will be retained by the region, only 20% will go to the national government. Alright, and then next na additional, yung number 4 is subsidy. Okay? Again, over and above the internal revenue allotment, over and above yung share natin sa national revenue collections, number 4 is subsidy. May justification. Bakit may subsidy? Inaamin nga yung national government na we were neglected for a long period of time, the development. In order for us to catch up, dapat magbigay sila ng subsidy. Which under our proposal for 10 billion per year for the first 5 years. And then 5 billion per year for the next 5 years. Or in a total of 10 years, 75 billion. To be divided as follows. Alright. This is how it will be divided. Nakalagay sa batas. Alright. 20% will go to the autonomous
Government
region. So ano ang naiwan? 20% will go to the autonomous government. 6% will be a reserve fund.
Okay.
So 26% lahat yan. Magkano yung naiwan? 74%. Alright. The 74% will be divided as follows. Alright. 25% will be divided equally by the provinces in the highly urbanized city.
By the provinces and
the highly urbanized city.
So it means 13 plus the highly urbanized.
No, because we have only 6 provinces,
provinces
and
plus
the city
highly
of Baguio
urbanized,
as highly urbanized city. So 7.
7 divided by
All right.
7. Yeah.
The component city kasi yung Tabuk. That's why Tabuk will get 2%, 23% gayam de ma-divide among all the provinces in the highly
23,
urbanized
okay.
cities.
Yeah.
2% will be the share of Tabuk City.
Yeah.
From the 74%. And then yung naiwan, okay, 35% of the 74% will be divided equally by the barangays entire the autonomous region. And then municipalities, I should say, will be divided equally by the municipalities in the autonomous region. And the remaining 40% to complete the 100% of the 74% will be divided equally by the barangays of the Cordilleras. So that's it. That is the division of the subsidy. And then last condition, to come out with provisions that will ensure the financial stability and management of the autonomous region. So nga, the establishment of the regional center or the regional office of the autonomous region, 2.5 billion yung initially that should be increased. Inallocate namin at the time, many more that we allocated. So that's sana tingin, of course, ito to correct the injustice that we have been suffering, especially the province of Benguet.
Yeah.
Look, the province of Benguet was once the host of the biggest gold and copper mining industries Entire the Far East, ha? Hindi lang sa isa. Yes. When Benguet Corporation was its golden age, that's the biggest gold mining industry entire the Far East. Lepanto was the biggest copper mining industry entire the Far East during its peak. Now, what is Benguet? Benguet is not a first-class province. Why? Kasi ganitong nangyayari. Kinukuha yung kayamanan ng Benguet. Hindi nagbabayad ng buwis sa Benguet. Pinabayaran sa national government. Ay sa kanilang principal office, Makati. Yumayaman yung Makati. The source of the gold and copper, wala, naiiwan. So, ano ang ginawa natin diyan? Ginawa natin sitos of taxation. All companies or persons, juridical or natural, engaged in business shall pay their taxes for the income they realize in the business they are operating within the province of the Cordillera where their business is located. To correct that injustice.
Because, that's an injustice.
And then, I included yung ano. Of course, yung ating customary laws and practices, it must also be recognized. Especially when it's still very applicable, it's still good, it's not contrary to morals. Then we should obligate ourselves to continue to preserve it and practice it. And I inserted propose ko yung isang provision na, okay, under the revised penal code, generally, criminal offense, especially murder cases, are not allowed to be settled.
Yes.
But under our cultural practices,
We have the tungtungan.
customary laws and practices, kahit na murder pwedeng isettle yung mga old people yan.
Not matungtong.
Basta, importante, both parties will agree.
Will agree.
And that must be recognized already as settlement of the case, whether it is murder or not. Kasi, ay yung reason kung bakit this is being encouraged, to prevent the possibility of revenge, or if you cannot prevent it, you can minimize the possibility of revenge. At least you pacified the offended party. See, I see this one. Kasi meron yung isang kaso dyan na, okay, unfortunately, nagpresenta ng prosecution ng kanilang ebidensya bago mag-settle yung
parties.
Private complainant in the accused. Still, kinonvict yung Kasi that settlement refers only to the civil aspect. Hindi pwede yung So, pumunta sa Supreme Court, sinustain ng Supreme Court yung conviction yung kaawawa naman. And that one, as I said, look at what is happening in Abra. Hindi mo mapahinto yan kasi pinatay nila yung just wait for an opportunity to revenge. So that is our autonomy.
Do you agree with this, that who was sino nag-brought out ng idea of autonomy? Was it the late Father Balwag?
No, a lot of our Father Balwag was one of them. Was one of them, but even our own leaders long time ago had been clamoring for more authority in share from the national government.
Because I heard the story of back then when we are Region 1, mostly yung mga nandun sa offices, even in the Department of Education, Culture, and Sports back then, puro galing sa ibang province.
Yeah.
Book that you can recommend to our listeners about life, that parang maybe a book that you have read and then it's inspired you na pwede man nating i-share?
Well, sa akin, there are a lot of good books that we can read.
Mm.
On leadership,
Yeah.
character development, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And then the success stories also,
Yeah.
individuals. Success stories of individuals, I found out that, okay, Lau of Chongsan.
Mm. Yeah.
Lau
Love.
was not a rich person.
Oh.
He was a Chinese who went to mountain trail teaching our natives in mountain trail to
I see.
plant vegetable.
Oh, those were the Lao.
So this was the Laos. But look at him.
Mm.
It's already billionaire.
Uh-uh.
The same with Peter Nang.
Mm.
Peter Nang was only taxi driver before.
Yeah.
Perito because if you look at their stories, which again relate to what I said a while ago, yung sinasabi ng ating folks na kahit na hindi sila educated, yung
Yeah.
limang
Limang.
factors na dapat we should not forget and implement it.
Yeah.
That is the key.
Mm.
My friend, close friend, the owner of billionaire also.
Uh-uh.
He is, but he has a Filipino name.
Mm.
Santos, Peter Santos,
Percent.
owner of Cypress
Oh.
subdivision.
Mm.
Was able to help those who squatted on his property because he asked me to issue demolition to the squatters, which I did because maliwanag naman na
Yeah.
violation yung
Yeah.
ginawa nila.
Yeah.
When implementation was to be done, a lot of them came and they asked me, can you please help us? Right? Yes, that is squatted on this titled properties.
Mm.
You negotiate with the owner to sell it to us at a reasonable price. Wala tayong puntahan. You know our situation.
Yeah.
In short, because of that, I tried talking to him. And I think the number one reason that she sympathized and agreed with me was when he was asking about part of my life, like what you are asking.
Yeah.
Orphan at an early age, and sabi niya, alam mo, tayo medyo magkapareho. Ako lang 7 years old ako nung na-orphan ako. 7 kami magkakapatid. Taga Taiwan na. I came to the Philippines. Nagbibinta lang ng mani, chinilas. Dito, kawawa ako na ulit. Yung kunti kong naiipon, again, sabi ko na, so long as hindi pumunta sa bisyo kung nakikita mo, binili ko ng lupa. Mura naman lupa. Haruban ni Lucio Tanday ko. When, di ay ginatang na iditi, numano ng katang na nga, ampay nga piso, 200,000 per square meter, 400,000. Napantikal sa iso nga, bilyonaryo. Yeah, so, alright, dahil sa iyo, sige, bigay ko kanila. 350 pesos per square meter.
Wow.
Kada mabiro kam.
Wow.
Nga, but this was in 1993.
Yeah.
Then, so I assured him na ganun. Tragis. Kahit isa, walang nagbayad in 5 years. So sabi niya, wala na, loki na ako. Hindi ko nabigay sa 350 pesos. Kung gusto nila, live it or take it, 1,500 per square meter. Still ko na, reasonable pa.
Still reasonable. Yeah.
Anyway, magkakada ko na awanin, madinan nga ilako kada kayo, tani, awamot nagtungpal. Hindi ko ako nila. Alam mo rin, ngayon lang, tulungan na ka. Tinulong ko man ang iso na kinanegosyo ko. Sige, gusto nila. in nga to na ti 800, the highest nga nadano na is 1.2, ay 100, 1,200
1,200.
per square meter.
Mm.
I organized them. I registered them with the National Housing Authority
Oo.
to be benefited by the community mortgage
Mm.
program. So those who cannot pay in cash to Santos, the consideration of the lot, they will pay it in installment with the NHA.
Oo.
NHA will be the one to pay in lump sum to Juan Santos.
Santos.
It so happened that, adak man na ni de Congress, okay, pinarigat na kami deta, salpot nga, NHA nga mangbayad, ado nga dalawanda, in remedyok mo't de may sagamin piman, ada ng iskwat ti kalsada, na, sika, madimulis ka, because madisiplinate application tayo ti NHA, unless there is a road. Gatangam da ito'y asinignan, which is not yet both.
Yeah.
Awan pa ti balay na. Ialis tayo ti kalsada diyay. So, that's what he done. In short, nakitin it say, I will block the approval of your budget if you do not pay. Binayadan da. So, that's,
Yeah.
they are now, the titles are already
I was
in the name of their association.
really amazed by how you you put yourself in that place. Like ito yung sinusulat ko kanina na knowing your life, you went through hard times. I heard this quote before. Yung hard times makes good men, and then good men makes good times. But then, unfortunately, good times makes bad men. But then you went to hard times, and then you became a good man, and then you came to that success. And I really admire the way you used your power to help other people. And I think that is unforgettable.
Well,
Yeah.
Nga mga, if you do not know where you came from,
Yeah.
simply seeing you cannot reach the destination you want to reach. That's why with that, I'll just tell this one,
Yeah, yeah.
partly. One, when I married my wife,
Mm.
which is again anak na kiar-ari when I was Bachelor of Arts.
Yeah.
And I even when I was a college of law, sanak to seryoso nga agalam when I was about to graduate as law student. Unfortunately, the first nga inayat ko, ang kami nga nagka-lawyer. Siguro ang kami ang nagkasa.
Yeah.
I was the lawyer of my mother-in-law because all of them were living in the state except my mother-in-law who was caring for their little properties here. And then, of course, that was I met my wife. After I married my wife, then, my first time to go to the state, kunan piman ni bakat ko, let us stay here. Then my father-in-law said, yes, I'm willing to help you. Your expenses for you to take the state bar of California. Kunak nakulungak ijay kunak. I cannot in conscience do that.
Yeah.
If I remember those people in our city, every year we have been doing it for 8 years, carrying my supply, bagas, rice supply for a semester, walking 12 hours just to reach the destination of the road, up and down the mountain. Then, now that with God's help, I'm already graduate, I will just let them kasangit. No, we have to go home. So, well, I'm glad. my wife succeeded. Now, I never thought that I will be given the chance to serve government. And,
Yeah.
well, at least the opportunity to help more people.
Mm.
But when I was given the chance, one of my important program is the Domogan Financial Educational Assistance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except, I'll tell you this. 2 doctors that I had fully paid their tuition fee and miscellaneous fee.
Mm.
Okay, now, why did I ka- uh, thought of doing that? I thought of doing that because the difficulties I had undergone, I do not like these kids also
Mm.
to undergo it.
Yeah.
If we can do something, then I think it feels also happiness deep in your heart.
Mm.
So when I was so we established, as I said, when Manong Bernie Vergara was there, so in Bagak nagpartner kami.
Mm.
Ni Manong Bernie, the allocation at the NCIP, PD, iso ti kontribusyon na siya kakarigatak. And then, when I was in Congress, so nga umabot kami iti with that program.
Uh,
Then, gusto mo, Vergara, when I was in Congress, imagine na, I have been doing everything to look for a funding, more or less 16 million
yeah.
a year for this program. And the beneficiaries that we had reached, usually those years, halos 960 students kasi partnership, sabi ko sa mga estudyante, 7,000 coming from me, contribution yung parents yung iba.
Mm.
Ganun, parang partnership.
Yeah, and you were very, anong tawag nito sa English? Very giving kayo I've been through congressional educational assistance myself from other province. Hindi masyadong kalakihan. And then when we heard about Baguio, gusto mo ito ni Congressman Dumugan.
We started that because, as I said, of the difficulties I had
Yeah.
undergone. And also, again, except for doctors,
Mm.
why did I look for, kasi simple lang yung requirements eh.
Yeah.
Hindi
Yeah,
it's not difficult. One, certification of the barangay that you are from Baguio City.
Mm.
Two, income tax return ng parents. If there's no income tax return because there's no taxable income, get a certification na exempted sila. Three, then, yung grade.
Grade ng
Yeah.
bata. Yeah.
I form also a screening committee, not only me, chaired by the social department of the city,
Mm.
co-chaired by the superintendent of this school,
Mm.
one from my office, the accounting and the treasury.
Mm.
Those are the composition of my committee that select the so that mabalance lahat. Now, I committed, all right, look for students who like to become doctors. I'm willing to scholar them full
Yeah.
tuition fee and miscellaneous. They were able to locate 2. So sabi ko,
Mm.
right, simple lang yung agreemento. I told them, the reason why I am doing this, I was told that we had been orphaned at an early age because our mother suffered dysentery
Mm.
because there was no hospital in our place. She just died
Yeah.
with that treatable
Yeah. Yeah.
illness. I want that. Again, sana, none of those in the remote areas will suffer the same
The same fate.
fate.
Mm.
So, yung condition ko sa inyo, I will fully scholar you. Condition na when you will become doctors, you serve 4 years in the rural areas na walang doktor.
Mm. Mm.
Yun lang.
Yeah.
And then after the 4 years, 4 years, you can go to a greener pasture.
Pasture.
There were two. O ano. That's why, hindi nagkasarpi man na mesa, naladak man ninong sangit-sangit na, kada kastigwen. Unak kada. Been meeting them, a lot of them, because I had done what I came to you. All that I ask, I hope you can do. Organize and continue the program.
Yeah.
Even if I am out.
Yeah.
Help those who are also in need like what I had done to you. Ang alkwada. Kung nadamot nga, uwin, kuda. No, I am no longer in position. But still, we have, I cannot just detach myself from the concern to those. So, I have still the Domogan golf tournament for Akos.
Yeah.
Which is the bulk of it is going to
Yeah.
financial educational assistance. And then of course medical assistance for the indigent, and then medical assistance to the indigent patients and the community services. So nga, I had just disposed of, I think, about 660,000 pesos just recently. That came from the Dumugan Cup
Domogan
Golf
Golf Tour.
Tournament. Dati papadi nga, I think I have still 2 or not yet finished. Ngam di papadi manan, I give them full scholarship. Plus, panangkitak di bagi, I think, kurangak nga mamagbaga ka dagiti.
Yeah.
Rumbang nga mabagbagaan nga tatao to come to the fold of what is right. So, sige. Adon ti asina naggraduaren ijay seminary, I hope malpas mat nagijeda. That's the reason why we have established that this program.
If you have one message for the youth, what would it be?
Well, my message for my children, which I keep on sharing with the youth, is of course what I said. The principle of even the old people who are illiterate. Number one, said, believe and be afraid with God. Number two, take care of yourself so that you are not sickly. Number three, do not be lazy. Number four, iwasan natin ang masamang bisyo. Walang ibang sumisira sa atin kundi yung ating masamang bisyo. Parang nakasigurado tayo na sa number 5, kung meron kang nakita, sigurado magagamit sa inyong kailangan. Posta kami kada kayo kung nandagiti lalakay. Bakit? No maaramid mo ratoy. Agdalyasat dagiti binulong tibulan kentawin. Adalaang de mainot-inot nga madlaw mo nga panagprogresong. Think about it, which is in line with the principle of the farmer, which says, if you want to harvest during harvest time, then ensure to nagbunubon ka. Then, iraot mo. Take care of what you have planted. Danom na kas kada iso amin. For sure, during harvest time, you have something to harvest. This is what I keep telling even lawyers. What I notice, pangulpian ngay, which as I said, I do not think that is right. prove to the client talagang you have done legal service equally to what other lawyers can do
Yeah.
in the vicinity. And then, bago ka magkolekta, hindi yung bulahin mo yung kliyente because kulang yung knowledge na sa legal system natin in order to make money from them. Hindi tama yan.
Yeah.
That is not sustainable.
Yeah.
Words can easily pass through millions of mouth from the moment sinira mo yung
Especially nowadays.
yes, reputasyon mo. Wala. Mahirap sa politika kasi kahit na hindi mo ginawa, of course,
Yeah.
politika yan.
It's the game. It's the nature of the game. What would be or what is the future look like for you, sir, for Attorney Mauricio Domogan in field of politics?
Well, me, I as usually do. I do not like to ambition for any political position unless I can feel that the pulse of the people are for it.
Okay.
In short,
So listening.
what I have been doing before I ran is honest to goodness, survey the pulse of the people. Ito yung problema sa eleksyon. Is for me, unfortunate to say na it's being corrupted. I believe that the computerized election is supposed to be faster and better, but it's being corrupted. It can be manipulated.
Yeah.
Yung mayaman lang dyan, yung unscrupulous people of yung maybe from Comelec and the operator of the machine. Yun yung that's why, kung sakali man ako, because there's a lot of repeated questions from other people. Sabi ko, pasubok ako ng tumakbo during the kasi resulta ng survey, lamang naman tayo eh. Ano ang nakita ninyo sa sa resulta? Wala. Talo tayo. So, at saka, ikalawa, nag-iba na yung values ng tao noon. Siguro, who will believe that I will beat Labo? Na dollar pa yung kanang pera noon. We were able to defeat him because of you people. But now, unfortunately, wala na. Iba na yung values. Pira-pira lang.
Most are short-sighted.
Yes. Yan yung problema natin. That's why, unang-una, tinitingnan ko nga, pinapalag ko yung resulta because, okay, dinisqualify yung Comelec, yung Smartmatic. Talaga proven na it can be manipulated.
Yeah.
But yung nanalong bidder daw, I was told, a Korean company with Filipino partners. Tingnan natin how you will second, ng pulse ng tao. I do not know, baka wala na. I keep on seeing this even in the series of elections that I've been involved. Do not see only to me. If there are some of you who are interested to the same position like this, ganito ang gawin natin. Isolve natin ng honest to goodness, hindi natin luklukuhin. Kung ikaw ang lalabas, I obligate myself to support you, campaign for you, ganun. But if you are not the one, then let us give it to the one who had won the assessment. Yun ang so we will now see and feel the pulse of our people. Ano yung nakita nila. I'm already also, of course, I keep on seeing this. Dapat mag-prepare kayo, younger people. That's not a private property. The one who will serve there will come and go. Sorry to say, my frustration is I keep on seeing this. Well, a lot of them started with me. Ito lang kikiusap ko sa inyo. Do it better than what I have done.
Yes.
It will be my happiness. You will be able to perform better than what I had done.
Mm.
It's my happiness. That's wala.
Mm.
Pira-pira lang nga. Wala na.
Yeah, it's just amazing to hear your story that you didn't know Baguio when you came here in 1965, and then years later you became the highest or the leader of that city. It's amazing story, and I thank you for sharing it with me. I think we will end it, sir, because we already had been talking for 3 hours, and it's
Okay.
time for you to, yeah.
Well, even me, I did not really expect that I will enter government service
Mm.
occupying this position.
Yeah.
A lot of awards that I had received, I was awarded by the province of Ilocos as
Uh,
the Padre Burgos Award.
uh,
Uh, and then, of course, the national government, community development.
mm,
Uh, then, I was awarded by the uh, global uh, global uh, indigenous uh, leader of the Philippines,
mm,
1996. And I think that contributed also for me to be recognized as outstanding citizen of Baguio
yeah.
during the time. Which during the awarding, when I was chosen as awarded the global uh, uh, indigenous conference of here nga all from the Americas, Canada,
Mm, mm,
Australia, New Zealand were here, foreign countries. I was just instructed to wear my complete native attire, which of course I followed.
mm,
I was never given the uh, notice na I am an awardee.
mm, mm.
When I go there, complete native attire. Sabi ng gwardiya, di pwede yung ganyung attire. Kala ko he was joking, sige, alisin mo parang makikita mo yung Cordillera size. Anyway,
Uh,
somebody recognized me.
mm, mm,
Then, ay, papasukin mo yan. Isang awardee yan. When I went inside, may designated seat for the awardees. Bakit nilagay ako sa just in front of the biggest aircon machine na
mm.
ako ko it's a punishment. My galing. Kapampana ba? To President Ramos when he delivered his keynote address.
Uh,
Mayor, Mayor Dumogan is here. Can you please stand at the center of the aisle? So I went to the center of the aisle. Thank you, Mr. President. You saved me from that airplane. Until he finished his speech. So
yeah,
at least, so a lot
yeah.
of experiences. And that's why I keep on telling my uh, children, you know, lucky you are.
Mm,
Deep
yeah,
in my
yeah.
heart, I do not like any of you to suffer, even if a few percentage of the difficulties I had undergone. Bagak kada kayo nga naturturog at tiigit ti karayan when we have to reach Cervantes to take the right to coming to Baguio, we had
You've
done
done
it.
that. You've done it like
Awan,
not just once, many times.
talaga nga, oo, kasta deta. So nga, ah, hanyo ko capitalize of what we can do to help you uh, obtain the education that you want to finish and
Mm,
achieve better success in life than us.
mm,
It's our happiness if you can
yeah.
do that, which I have been sharing to other kids. Yun naman eh. I I was invited as the keynote speaker of the selected leaders of the Philippines, all over the Philippines, and in the convention center, organized by Attorney Fernanda Balboa,
Mm.
who have similar feelings like me.
Yeah.
So I keep on funding civic, so selected leaders.
Mm.
Then I delivered my keynote address. I did not expect a lot of, even those young people were crying hearing this part of my story. Yeah. So, and then after I finish my speech, sabi ni Attorney Balboa, can you select 5 students similar with your attitude and character? I will fully scholar them, sabi niya.
I think
Yeah, thank you very
that's it
much,
for today.
Clyde, for this
Yeah.
opportunity to uh, be interviewed by you. I hope I'm just an ordinary individual. I hope it can answer the concerns and the questions that you want me to
Yeah.
uh, reply.
I am very inspired. You're very inspired by your story, sir. And thank you so much. For those who are listening, we have here Attorney Mauricio Domogan. Thank you so much for listening.